Who wants to hear my new programmer joke?
I do.
A wife sends her programmer husband to the store and says, "Pick up a loaf of bread. If the store has eggs, then get 12." Half hour later, he comes back from the store with 12 loaves of bread.
I think I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that will open the show.
That means the store had eggs.
Welcome back to the Nerd Effect Podcast. We are on episode number 27. I am one of your nerd hosts, Dustin Vancouver. I am joined. I was doing so well.
You were talking really fast.
I was, and I had it all right here. But as I said, I am joined. You know what? Screw it. I'm joined by my three cohorts.
Michael Morgan.
Mason Ireland.
Iggy Brittle.
Yay! And we are here to be awesome, like we usually are every week. We hope you enjoyed our...
and to be modest.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
modesty.
We're the best at being modest, you guys. Reals.
Well, that's an oxymoron. We're the best at being mediocre.
Modest isn't mediocre.
No.
Modest is...
Not bragging.
I know.
That's why it was funny. Thanks for ruining it. 30 seconds in and you broke my joke.
Oh, we were broke from the get-go.
Yeah, there's no correcting this ship.
Nope.
I'm your captain, and I have no idea where the fuck we're going.
We're Star Trekking.
Fasten your
across the
seatbelts and
universe.
kiss your
Yes.
asses goodbye.
Stick your head between your legs.
Boldly going forward because we can't find reverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how's your guys' week so far?
Fine.
Good?
Peachy.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't have a car anymore, so
Oh.
that goes along for the ride.
Ah. Literally.
Lol.
Ah.
Alright, well, my week's good too. I'm glad we had this talk.
Yeah.
So,
All right, good night, everybody.
yeah, peace out.
For those about to nerd, no.
Well, today we are here to, we're going to talk about nerd culture in general and just kind of see how it's developed over the years, where it's come from, what it is today, how we define ourselves as nerds, so on and so forth.
Where do you come from? Where do you go? Where do you come from? Cotton Eye Joe?
And a Rednecks reference. Wow.
You're welcome.
But first, as always, the news. This just in. Just kidding.
Old timey fax machine noise.
We'll start with Mike's.
Oh, since I got the sucky one.
Mike's
Alright,
going to review a review for us.
Yay.
well, they recently released a kind of a redo of a classic game, Strider. This is a game that I spent many a paycheck's worth of quarters being dumped into. And I distinctly remember at one point I had that game down to it was basically one straight through play, 1 quarter. No deaths.
Nice.
So, I mean, I had that game masked.
Never gotten to that on a game before.
It's one of 2 games I've done it with.
Yeah. I've come close on Area 51, but...
I'm sorry, 3 games. Sorry, I'm remembering other ones, sorry. Strider, Heavy Barrel, and... Oh, what was that other one called?
Heavy Barrel, isn't that the one where you actually sit in the...
Oh, no. That one's, you got a joystick that rotates. So you got a fire button, a grenade button, and then you got the joystick, but the joystick rotates in whichever way you rotate it, your guy's facing.
Interesting. Okay.
It was like that one and Akari Warriors, I think, were the only ones I really did that with, because it's a pain.
I love me some Ikari Warriors. I played many an hour on the NES with that. And the weird thing about that game, even though it's just a top-down shooter, like, it just, the levels would go on forever.
Oh yeah.
And your characters move at like a snail's pace, like... doot, 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 doot.
I like
Yeah.
that you acted it out. Sometimes I wish this was a video podcast, but just focused on you.
Eventually, we'll get this thing streamed on Google Play for people. Or Google Play, God. Google Plus. Hangouts, yeah. Or
Twitch.
or Ustream or something.
Eventually. Hopefully I'll have my head shaved by then, though. Yeah.
Well, that's only 2 weeks away.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, we
it's
won't have
coming
this thing
fast.
streamed
That's
by
true.
then.
That's true.
By the way,
Okay.
anybody who's donated to our St. Baldrick's Foundation thing,
You're amazing.
thank you.
Yes.
You are awesome sauce.
I just mailed off a check for my dad today. It's really exciting.
Nailed up.
Yeah, my dad gave me a check because he doesn't trust using his card on the internet. So he wrote me a check, and it was adorable. So I sent it off.
At least you weren't stuck behind a medical system.
It's true.
But me, I'm kind of the lone empty wolf. I decided to actually put my foot forward a little bit a couple days ago and say, hey, I'm doing this too, you know. And
whose fault is that?
well, I'm trying to promote it a little. And so, I mean, honestly, I don't care who the hell donates to who, but because it's all going to go to the same pot. But it'd be nice to see at least some numbers in my in my profile, just so I'm not doing this for nothing. Oh, by the way, we're scheduled for 12:40 p.m.
Yes.
Yep.
If you guys got that on the 8th. If you live in Boise, we'll be down at the
Factory.
Knitting Factory Concert House. We'll probably get down there about 11:30 or so, I imagine, because
Yeah,
we'll
I
have
can't
to.
remember what date.
The 8th.
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to
okay.
figure out the logistics of getting my hair donated. I don't know. I've never watched one of these events. I don't know if I'm going to talk to the person cutting my hair ahead of time.
Email them.
And so they may already have a partnership set up with somebody
They don't.
too. So.
It says on the website that they don't, but I checked out that Pantene program that Brian mentioned. Definitely going to do that. And
Also,
yeah.
for those of you who've been paid attention to our podcast last week, we were looking for a name other than Battle Nerds,
Yeah.
and which I know Nikki liked. I liked it
I
too.
can do that one in that voice too.
Well, to Brian Copel, God bless him, fan number 1. Libby, you got some more competition again.
Yeah, Libby, where's your suggestion for our D&D name?
Yeah,
She is catching up on podcasts.
I know she actually just put a comment up on one of the
older ones,
on the Star
villain or
Trek
something.
Tech one.
Yeah.
She says, it took me 3 days to get through the show that never ends, because apparently that was like our near 3-hour show.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing she learned, me constantly staring at boobs is completely normal. Nikki hates plastic surgery, and loves Hitler.
Libby, why?
And she loved the body issue segment. However random, I have stories. I guess as somebody who probably knits clothing or sews clothing for a living, I am sure that she has plenty of body issue stories that she has to deal with on a regular basis.
She makes amazing things. Have you seen any of the pictures of the stuff she's
Yeah,
working
I went through her, and I watched one of her videos recently.
Yeah.
The one that she put
I
up.
get name dropped on her video blog thing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got name dropped on that way before I got name dropped here.
Nice.
Yep.
My
cats did too.
So to roll it back, Brian Copel,
Oh, yeah.
you're the winner. You're gonna get one of Nikki's sacks. Giggle. She's gonna make you a handy dandy nerd affect. Oh, that'd be a whole different show.
Yeah, it would.
I
I can think of a few people who should be on that one.
people who have been affected by this podcast. That'd be a great after show. Nerd
Oh my
Effect,
God,
and then
it
do
could
like
be
an
Chris
after show
Hardwick?
called the Nerd Effect.
Could be Chris Hardwick.
Chris
He hosts
Hardwick
all
would
the
host it,
after
yeah.
shows. All of the after shows.
Did you just finish that while we were sitting here?
That
Yes.
That
one.
is,
And then started this one.
you just started that.
While you were lollygagging with your Chrome, yeah.
Jesus Christ, you're quick.
Yeah.
N-
Skills with a Z.
Again, for those of you who don't know, Nikki crochets and knits and sews and other stuff
All
as
of
well.
the things, yeah.
All the things, anything homecrafty, she's pretty much got her fingers in.
A giant homesteading nerd.
And she's making these little scrubbies with nylon.
My mom gave me a buttload of yarn, including a giant bag of nylon mesh. Awesomeness. My fingers have really weird calluses forming now. It's not pleasant to work with.
So anyway, when we start the new show, which I think we are going to do regardless, whether you fucking people like it or not,
We like it.
we're going to start a second D&D show. And it's going to be called The Initiative.
Boom.
Nikki's got a thing for us. Hold on.
The Initiative!
You're welcome. So we thought it was a good name. It's sleek. It's sexy. It can be adapted to any D&D type style RPG game.
And I can do my voice with it.
Basically anything with dice can be adapted to, because you're always having to roll for initiative.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Nikki, we need a logo.
I'll come up with something.
That's like my dreaded words, too, for you guys. It's like, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, roll initiative.
I hate it when you say that.
No.
Good things never come from that. Like, I get kidnapped by
we have-
freaking orphans.
We have killed the Elven Mega Bitch twice.
I did get to puke on street urchins, too. That was kind of fun.
I tried to punch things and failed miserably again.
Yay!
Yay! Consistency.
That's okay. I've been working on the next 2 or 3 challenges for you guys, so yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Gotta say, I did enjoy role-playing drunk. It's almost as good as getting to do the real thing. Made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So I should probably get back to my review.
Yeah, get back to your
Oh,
news.
yeah, news was
Oh yeah, the news is happening.
Wow.
You mentioned the Akari Warriors, and it just kind of rolled downhill from there. I apologize.
The power of the Akari. All right, so the new version of Strider, it's done by Double Helix, who, just for a side note, recently got acquired by Amazon.
interesting.
Yeah.
Amazon's starting up
They're
some...
feuding against Google and acquiring all the things.
Yeah, they're trying to acquire things. So apparently this is their last game as an independent, and they're going to be from part of Amazon from here, I guess.
Do you think that's
Okay.
going to improve the quality of their games or make it worse?
Hard to say.
Involved?
It's as far as a gaming studio, they've been doing some really good work.
Yeah.
A few things about the new version. I mean, they definitely kept with the, high speed, high action. So, you're constantly go. You got tons of enemies that you're just busting your way through, and then
play that.
you get to the boss fights, and then you got to kind of stop and strategize and figure out what the hell you're doing. So it's quick and fun, but challenging as well. Just from the little bits I watched on the videos, I'm actually pretty impressed with what they've been doing. Couple of design features they changed with the main character, Strider Hyrule. His scarf this time around is actually a plasma trail.
Okay.
So it looks like he still has a scarf, but it's actually a plasma trail, and it actually changed colors depending on the type of setup he's got. So apparently they got some new abilities you can get. You can get ice attack and it makes your scarf turn blue, and some different things like that.
Outfit for each skill.
Yes.
That's called Mega Man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. If you have a chance, go ahead and take a look at it. It's on Steam, but they also have it for all the major consoles. I'm waiting to get it for my Xbox, because if I'm going to play Strider, I got to play it on console. $15.
You can play it on PC with a controller.
I don't have a controller to work on my PC.
That
That would cause a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get the one for Xbox, but it's out there. It's $15. You can't beat that.
Good deal.
I did see it on the PlayStation Store earlier today, so it is out and ready to rock and roll. Wasn't Strider a Capcom game?
Yep.
Yeah,
it was originally
because it was on
Yeah.
Capcom and versus
Marvel versus
Marvel
Capcom.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder why Capcom would sell a property like that, or unless it's still Capcom owned and Double Helix is developing it.
Capcom was in the loop on it. On
Everybody
Steam, they
gets
had
money.
a behind the scenes video, and they actually had interviews with some of the guys at Capcom. I think one of the guys was the actual original character creator for Strider. And so he had a hand on character design for this game too.
Yeah.
They've got behind the scenes stuff so you can see how things were made. That's neat.
I think that's probably the case. Is it's Capcom property and it's just being developed by Double Helix. That's kind of how I'm reading this.
I know I'm late to the party, but I totally want to get Minecraft. My brother's girlfriend got it for him on Steam, I believe.
Oh my god!
For
I've been avoiding
Valentine's
it like the
Day.
plague.
I have too because it looks like the kind of thing that I will just
like-
get sucked into and never come out of.
I
And
got
I was-
enough things to suck my time
Yeah.
up with. Thank you.
I was watching him play, and because when we were kids, I used to watch my brother play video games. Like when we would play Mario, I'd make him fight the bosses, and then I'd do like the bonus game rounds and stuff because I'm a dick. And so I was just sitting there watching him play. It's awesome. I don't know how I haven't had this game yet. I really want it now, and I'm avoiding it because you guys wouldn't see me ever again.
They have it for they have it on PS3 now,
Oh, really?
which is weird because I thought it was a Microsoft exclusive game, but
Yeah.
No, it was originally
Interesting.
PC exclusive.
Yeah, he's been having.
Remember,
a lot-
there are usually games that are out there far in advance on PCs than consoles.
Boom.
Yeah, it's. I know
I
it's been
know.
around forever, and there's like little kids running around in Minecraft T-shirts, but I'm like, that looks awesome.
with the little creepers.
Yeah, and he was playing with lava, and then we went back over later, and Ange was with me, and even she was getting sucked into watching him. So I'm wondering if maybe that's something I could get on the PC, hooked up to the TV, and get away with playing it. I'm like, oh,
Lol.
you want to watch? I just play for 6 hours.
I'll do mine next because mine kind of follows up with the same idea. It's kind of a review of a review, but it's not at the same
You're
time.
making so much fun of Mike for his review.
Oh, I know, but I mean, this is more of like a keen observation. It's not even the game's not even fully developed yet, but we all know kind of what the Oculus Rift is.
Awesome.
Awesome.
As long as you don't have motion sickness.
Yeah, did you see
That's
the?
why I've never let it
I think the news article came out on a week that we didn't record, but where they had developed an app for the Oculus Rift that would allow you to see the other person's point of view, and they did it while people were having sex, so that the other person knew what the other person's view looked like at that time. I was like, "What is this?" It was like a Huffington Post thing that I saw. It was pretty funny.
That is big egotistical.
And you want to watch yourself
Wow.
do
That's the
yourself?
same
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
a little
person.
weird.
I'm thinking that's something I just don't need to see.
I'm thinking that's the same kind of person that puts mirrors above their bed in their bedroom.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the exact same thing, just on a
Yeah.
totally another level.
I don't know. Seeing myself and be like, oh, nope, can't do it now. Lost it. Done.
And there goes that, yeah.
That ain't happening now.
Well, this
Sorry, hon,
guy.
here's your $10. Get out of here.
Oh,
God. Jesus.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Coming out of the gates early with the Mike humor.
So there's a group of guys that are putting together the original NES Zelda, 8-bit sprites and all, and putting them into a 3D world, much like Minecraft, but still
Awesomer.
the bad guys are still all in a 2D plane, and all the graphics are in a 2D plane, but you're in a 3D world, and it looks totally badass. And there's a couple of YouTube videos on the thing of a couple of YouTubers that reviewed it on Oculus Rift, and I think it's just basically the first level up through the first dungeon.
okay.
Up to, at this point, but it looks really cool. And I never even really blinked at the Oculus Rift before. I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like now that I see this, I'm like, oh, the things that can happen. And I just want to play 8-bit Zelda like I'm there. That would be freaking badass.
Lol.
I would puke all over the place if I tried to play that, which makes me sad.
See,
'cause
I
I
wanna-
want to.
I want to bust out the ESO in Oculus Rift.
Okay, here it says the developer behind the project has only finished select parts of the world, the main world and the first dungeon, but estimates that the full game should be ready to go by March of 2014.
Oh, wow.
So
That-
that's right around the corner.
That's in
Yeah.
like a week.
So if you've got an Oculus Rift handy, because we all do,
Yeah.
You can find the current beta release right here. Otherwise, you can get a good chunk of what's on the game right now in the playthroughs below. So obviously, as usual, there'll be a link up on our website post that'll take you here, and you can watch a couple of pretty cool looking YouTube videos for it. Anyway, not real news, but I thought it was cool. God damn it!
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
That'd be like my childhood in 3D.
Your childhood in 3D?
Yeah.
How many of those games do you think you could do?
Well, I mean,
Mario in 3D would be so bad.
First person Mario in 3D.
But you're just running in one direction
Well,
from
yeah,
his
you gotta
point of
jump
view.
and
You gotta jump.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the ultimate cardio I work out.
yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
and you're running forward. You got you got to be able to time hitting the bricks or making the jumps.
Oculus Rift
jumping over the Koopas
with a treadmill.
Well, did you guys have the trackpad, World Track Meet?
Yeah,
I had a
but-
friend who did.
Yeah, we had it. I always thought that came with the Nintendo because it came with ours.
There was a release.
There was a
Yeah.
release version of it.
I never
I think
realized.
it came with Bob too.
one. Bob
We
was
didn't-
awesome.
We didn't have Bob. We had the Duck Hunt, Mario, and World Track Meet combo. And Mom didn't like it when we played World Track Meet because we got stompy.
Mm-hmm.
Because we figured out that you could like levitate with the arms of a chair and then just stomp your feet really fast and not actually have to do the work.
Or you get down on the ground and go.
Yeah, that too.
Your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
they
of
could have
getting
something
stompy.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I forget these mics are far more sensitive than the other ones are.
Our listeners haven't forgotten.
I know, I apologize.
Yeah, no banging your head into this mic either. It picks it up even worse.
That wasn't too bad. Sorry, World Track Meet.
that I was just thinking that technology would.
Oh, you want to make someone sick? Sonic.
Oh. Oh my god. Things just zipping by
Yeah.
you.
Or get some like
Oh, the tube
Bluetooth
game.
shoes so that they pick up like your actual movements. As
Okay,
you're
you know what
running around.
would be cool is if they could overlay that over the actual world, so you
Yeah.
could go out for
Yeah,
a
just
jog
kinda-
and it would look like a video game. I would work
It
out
would
so
digitize
much, you
the
guys.
trees and all that stuff.
Like, if they could incorporate that into the real world, like those what do they call that?
That's actually not too.
Enhanced technology, or what do they call it? Enhanced
Augmented reality.
Yes, augmented reality. I keep getting magazines there. They're like, download the app and stuff will happen. And it's actually kind of cool because you hover your phone over it and then a video plays. And
That what you just said isn't too far from the truth. There's actually, I think it was, I want to say MIT.
Mm-hmm.
They had developed. They took it was a game called Outbound or Out. It was an old 8-bit racer game, and they took what they did is they retrofitted the arcade cabinet, reprogrammed it, and set it up with dual webcams so they could record in depth.
Right.
And so they could, what it would do is it reproduce the area in front of them the road in front of them in 8-bit. And so as the road would start to turn, the screen would
Yeah.
make the
Oh, that's
turns too.
interesting.
So they could actually drive the car with some accuracy, not like full accuracy, but and I'm making the arm motions. Yes, I know. They basically fit it to like golf cart,
that's pretty cool.
and then they could
Oh my
drive
god,
it around.
Mario Kart augmented reality.
That would cause accidents.
Are you kidding me? You can do that in real reality.
There's-
Just dress up as Mario characters, get on a cart. I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
It's
nerd
doable.
fitness.
We need to do that for your birthday sometime, D-Man. Is
My
go
God,
down to the
yes.
go-karting
Oh my
and dressed
God,
up as
that'd be
Mario
so
character.
fun.
And if anything, we just go down to fucking Boondocks.
Yeah.
Dressed like
And
Mario
dressed like Mario
characters.
Just like
characters,
Mario
and-
characters.
Because we are adults, damn it.
That's right.
Yes.
Somebody, I saw a video
I have
floating
the
around. I
costume.
haven't watched it
I know
yet,
you do.
but there's a
And
video
so does your
floating
wife.
around where
Yes.
somebody cut like Mario Kart turtles and stuff into like track
Mike
like
is
the
Toad.
Olympics.
Oh God.
I'm
Heavy Toad.
Okay.
I
I was thinking we could make Evie Yoshi.
Oh,
Oh.
all the dogs.
I was thinking she should be the princess. 'Cause she's,
Well, my wife's got the princess costume,
Yeah,
and that'd be
that's
weird
true.
if I married my daughter.
that would be weird. Okay.
Illegal,
I get it.
actually.
And weird.
I could be Toad. I could wear the cool hat.
You could, totally make one of those little beanies.
Guess I'm Donkey Kong.
Do it.
Or Diddy Kong.
Who would you be, Mason?
I'm your bro, man. Luigi.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
I got it.
Big hearts everywhere. Duh.
All right. So, on from video games and on to things that make us play video games.
I was gonna do a timer. I was like, I think the people that play Oculus Rift are probably the same people out of my news article. So I was a Girl Scout when I was little.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's a thing. I'm a little bitter because we didn't learn a lot of the useful things that Boy Scouts learned. Like, instead of learning how to read maps, we learned how to fold origami picture frames out of them. Like, my dad got one for Father's Day one year.
Made out of a perfectly good map?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crafts.
perfectly good maps are cheap.
Yeah.
And I think might honestly be probably was a pretty cool looking
liked
picture
it.
frame.
He really liked it. It was on his desk at work for years. But the one thing I hated the most about being a Girl Scout was Girl Scout cookie season. Because, everyone loves Girl Scout cookies.
But the market is
But
swamped.
there's a lot of Girl Scouts with a lot of cookies to sell. And I am shitty at selling people things. I would go door to door, up and down my street, maybe get 5 people to buy 2 boxes each, and then my family would buy some because they felt sorry for me, and that was it. I sucked at selling Girl Scout cookies. A little girl in San Francisco has figured out a way to sell shit tons of Girl Scout cookies. She set out her table in front of a medical marijuana dispensary. She sold 117 boxes in a single day. I think that's about twice what I sold in my entire career as a Girl Scout, and I made it up to juniors, which means nothing to you guys, but that's it's up there. Apparently she had to call for backup cookies after 45 minutes. So now this has people wondering if Girl Scouts in Colorado are camping out in front of, marijuana dispensaries because...
Well, they're not dispensaries, they're stores.
Yeah,
It's a
stores.
straight up head shop.
Yeah,
I don't
straight
care
up
who you say.
stores. And they've released a statement saying that they are not allowed to set up outside marijuana stores or liquor stores or bars, which I think is a very poor decision.
Yes.
Because what's the one way that you can sell shit tons of cookies? Find stoners.
I would just set up outside of a video game shop.
See what they need to do
Yeah.
is they need to find the marijuana store, the head shop.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't like calling it a head shop because to me head shops
Head
imply
shops
paraphernalia.
supply- yeah. I don't
Just paraphernalia though.
I think they just call them
Oh,
marijuana
like the old Red Eye
stores.
Hut.
Yeah, or Annapurna in Berkeley.
Or that one All Sunshine on Vista that got shut down by the Popo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really funny to me.
But so you get your marijuana store, and then you find one with like some kind of awesome business like next to it that will let the Girl Scouts show up.
Oh, and camp out in front of that business.
And camp out in front of that business that's next door.
That's a good idea. That's a
No,
very
I'm
good
not
idea.
in front of the wheat shop,
No,
sir.
we're next
I'm
door.
next door at the
Yeah.
comic book store.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a comic book store. You get the fat nerds going in, whether they smoke
yeah.
weed or not.
Oh,
buying Girl
comic
Scout
book
cookies.
store
Best
next to a weed
cookies
store?
ever.
Yes.
But that's true. They're
That
Girl
would be
Scout
the
cookies. The
best
Thin Mints are the
location.
bomb.
Between a marijuana store and a comic book store would be the ultimate place to sell Girl Scout cookies. I did a little slow clap at my house because Jimmy Fallon covered this story and just briefly in his monologue this week, and it blew my mind because that little girl's gonna go places.
Yeah.
There's a smart businesswoman in the works right there, and her mom was saying that she wants her kids because people of course are like, how would you let your child camp out in front of a marijuana store and sell cookies? And she's using it as a teaching opportunity so that she can understand that some people most of the people going into a medical marijuana clinic are doing it because they have health problems,
Right.
not because they're doing it for recreation. So she's using it as a learning experience for her daughter, which I thought was, if this story wasn't awesome enough, that's a parenting win, in my opinion.
And
because-
also, let's just face it, if you've ever been on or around someone who has had marijuana, there is one thing that is true, whether it is for a medical reason or not, they get the munchies.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
And Girl Scout cookies are, well, let's just face it, pretty awesome munchies.
They give me the munchies, and I don't even do stuff that gives you the munchies, but I see Girl Scout cookies. I don't even just sugar that much anymore. But
You're like,
yeah,
Girl
I've
Scout
told
cookies.
Ange that if she gets Girl Scout cookies, she has to hide them from me, because if I know they're there, especially Samoas, Those are cracked meat.
Okay, I'm a Thin Mint man, but Samoas are a good, really
Mints
close
are my
second.
second choice. See,
Samoas.
and I don't like the peanut butter ones or the shortbread ones. We still have shortbread ones from last year.
Shortbread ones are
I like the shortbread ones, but I like shortbread in general.
Yeah, I like it sometimes.
I don't like the lemon ones.
Like it's good in tea. You dunk it in your tea.
That's just it.
Yeah.
But,
I liked the lemon ones. Those new ones that they came out with.
I just
I
don't
thought
like
those
lemon
were good.
cookies.
the lemon sandwich cookies or the lemon glazed ones.
No, the ones I'm thinking of were like a brain gone. They were just like a solid cookie, like a
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like a glaze, like a lemon glaze on them.
I guess they'd have like,
Oh yeah, it was a glaze on it, but
they
it
had
was
like
the cookie was
chunks
also lemon.
inside and the
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can't remember what they were called, but those were good. I liked them. But yeah.
Sunrise something, sun.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That was good. I liked
Yeah.
it. But, Samoas, if I have to choose one, and I am probably going to invest in a box of Girl Scout cookies.
So the moral of the story is go smoke a J and then go buy yourself some Girl Scout cookies.
And if somebody tries to sell you Girl Scout cookies, buy at least a box from her. They're cheap and you'll make her day because they're trying to raise money for a really important thing. As much as I disagree with the skills, I think they're actually better about teaching them useful skills now. It might have just been my troop that was like that. But I didn't have a lot of friends as a kid. Got picked on a lot, but Girl Scouts was like a fun place where people were nice to me because they had to be.
Even if the skills they're teaching are still not necessarily the best ones out there, it's socialization and community and
you get
how to get along with
badass
people.
patches.
Yes.
And Girl Scouts are actually very accepting of gay, lesbian, and transgendered kids.
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool. Like, they allow transgendered kids into their troops, which is just interesting to me. The politics of the Girl Scouts versus the politics of the Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts are finally rolling over and giving in and letting
Slowly.
kicking
and screaming.
Yeah.
And the Girl Scouts are like, we've been chill for years.
Yeah.
Whatevs, yo.
We're just teaching them how to make origami map frames. I mean, come on.
We all have and or wish we had vaginas in this group. It's all good. Oh, I can't tell if that joke was horrible or not, but it was pretty funny.
It was horrible and hilarious. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. That deserved a drink.
Of water.
Of
You
water.
rebel.
I know. How do you know it's not vodka?
Because we watched you open.
Shut up.
That would excuse the horrible hilarious joke.
Horrible-arious?
Yeah.
I like horrible-arious. I'm going to fit that into my vocabulary from now on.
I made a word. Made a song about the word. And I made a word. And,
/in.
yeah.
All right. So onto some real fascinating
For
news.
real, these news.
Because Mason likes to find these weird, cool things
I like
that
your
are on the
sciences.
internet, and then science goes, "Hey, check out what we can do," and then Mason says, "Check this out! Look what science can do!" And then we
Because
go,
science is
"Holy
awesome."
shit! I want science to do something for me," and then this
Science.
happens. So Mason, go.
So yes, so you think science couldn't do anything new with fishing line? You're wrong. They have made it into synthetic muscle. At the University of Texas at Dallas, they took your common nylon material that is used in fishing line and have twisted it into spirals that react to heat, expanding and contracting based on the heat that's being conducted to it. And they are by weight about 100 times more powerful than human muscles.
Because
And
it's freaking fishing line.
yeah, and yeah, so they're pretty awesome because beyond because like what they're looking at right now is possible uses are in humanoid robots, in wearable exoskeletons, and also in artificial limbs. Some of the other things they were talking about were like making clothes that could adjust to the temperature and stuff, which I kind of find interesting. That's like if your clothes could basically expand so they breathe as it gets hotter, and then the fibers contract and get denser as it gets cooler, and so it's like self-regulating.
Meanwhile, it's like
Well, you would make the clothes big enough.
Crushing you.
You'd make the clothes big enough not to do that. I mean, but Yeah. They can.
I bet you got a haircut in that.
No. Thanks, Mike.
That would hurt.
I have to do a full body shave before.
Or you just wear a t-shirt underneath of it.
Well, yeah, okay, simple workarounds, yeah.
Like t-shirts. Yeah. Okay, and no, a t-shirt was a workaround.
So,
but yeah, they can have them, of various sizes down to the thickness of a human hair. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. And the actual published study is in the journal Science. So if you can get by there, if Science's paywall, you can actually. The link is at the bottom of the article that we will have linked, so you can read the full thing in Science. But yeah,
Science.
Pretty cool. The ability to make synthetic muscles.
That is pretty damn cool. So so far it's just being looked into being used in robotics, basically.
Well,
And
robotics,
synthetic limbs.
and artificial limbs, cybernetic limbs,
Which
basically.
is, I get so excited about
Because
it.
especially now, like we have ones that are touch sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and
I saw that article and
Yeah.
it made me like,
yeah, and they're getting better at actually having control through the existing nerves that they would attach to in whatever is remaining of the arm or up to the shoulder or on the legs and whatnot. So now they have touch sensitivity, muscles that work like human muscles but are smaller and stronger. We're getting really close to having like actual functioning, like truly
Luke
functioning
Skywalker arms?
Yeah, basically Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker type or cyberpunk type cybernetic limbs.
Deus Ex, baby.
Yeah.
I am super stoked about that.
So-
guys, once we're done with this show, you want to, go outside and help me cut off my arm?
Not that close.
I want to be ready.
I know.
Be like, cyber arm's ready? Yep, put on. Get it on there, baby.
It's horrible.
I'm in line with him, I have to admit. Of course, I still want the jack in my head first. It lets me directly interface with a computer.
Yep.
Ghost in the Shell?
Eyes that, replace my eyes with ones that, can see with thermographics and
As long as you don't
Low
get
light
the weird
enhancement.
have to plug it into the socket so that if you sneeze it falls out and dangles there.
Oops.
yeah.
Makes Nikki puke eyes. That'd be fun.
Look what I got, guys. Plugs in right into my cerebral cortex.
Yep.
Science!
Yay.
But yeah, so yeah, Science is doing awesome stuff as, well, Science always does.
Science is real.
It's funny, right? And right to the very right of Mason's article, 4 things down. New record set for the world's thinnest condom.
Awesome.
Thanks, Science.
Thanks. Science, yes.
Is that really a thing that you would want to trust? Something known as the world's thinnest condom? Because it seems like maybe that's not a thing you would want to trust.
Yeah, when I'm at the store looking over condoms I'm going to purchase, I'm basically thinking in terms of what's the biggest, thickest, badassest condom in the damn
What's the
shelf.
baby stoppingest one they've got? His thinnest condom just sounds like a bad thing to be achieving.
As long as it was as strong.
Yeah. Do you really trust them to be like, it's super thin and just as
Well, unless
strong?
you're fucking sandpaper, it's not gonna break. At least it shouldn't.
It's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
depends on your partner in that case. But yeah,
Lube, son.
Home Depot has sections that
you
would be a
don't need to tell
lot more
me
suited
this.
to that than the sandpaper section might.
Ah!
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus. This conversation
we
took
do-
a really weird turn.
Not as bad as the 30 minutes on tampons we did last time.
oh,
Okay. Try and regain my composure.
We have a topic.
We do have a topic. So as I said at the top of the show, we're going to be talking about nerd stuff.
For a change. Wait.
After 27 episodes, we're finally going to talk nerdy.
We're done talking sports, you guys.
Yeah, I know. Enough of this foosball. Basically, it was brought up to us. Brian made a good topic for us.
And his winning post of winning.
Yeah, his double. Yeah, it was a double whammy. Like he brought us up a topic, and he's gonna get Nikki sack. I don't think that joke can get old.
It's not.
I love the word sack just because it sounds.
And when
horrible.
prefaced with a female name, it's extra funny.
I want a Nikki sack.
You should make it out of an actual
We'll all get
giant
sacks.
animal scrotum of some sort.
I will make 4 sacks.
Yeah.
5, technically, but eventually 4 more. Brian just gets my first sack.
Seriously though, you should find like some like just genuine animal hide made out of a scrotum. Like
If you want to do the
Yeah, they
Google
exist.
They've done them.
If you want to do the Google search for that and track it down and get the material, I'll make it, but I'm not buying that shit.
just walk into like a fabric store. You got any scrotum?
Oh, God. The people at Joann's already think I'm weird. They've learned to stop asking me what I'm making.
Some horse scrotum, maybe? I don't know. Whatever you got available.
Settle for
What do they
goat.
usually make it out of?
Bull scrotum.
Is it bull scrotum?
I've
That's what I
seen bull
thought.
scrotum.
Yeah, I've seen bull scrotum ones.
Bull scrotum is one of
The
those things
aftermath
that I
of-
never thought we'd say on the air.
The aftermath of Rocky Mountain oysters? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
basically.
gotta go somewhere.
May as well be dice bags.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Dice sacks.
That's
They're
the
still
manliest, nerdiest thing in the same thing ever.
At least it's
What's your
not
dice
the,
bag made out of? Bull scrot.
At least it's not the soccer mom SUV with the chrome bowl balls hanging off the back.
Why do people put fake nuts on the back of their vehicles?
Compensation.
Yeah.
But it's really stupid. I was driving behind a truck that had the giantest nutsack I've ever, like, elephant nuts were hanging off the back of this truck, which of course was lifted like 5 feet off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That guy doesn't have a tiny wiener at all, you guys.
Nope.
He's not just letting the world know. My wiener's so small I have to put nuts on my truck. That should be the bumper sticker that they sell with the truck nuts.
I bought this truck because my penis is tiny. What happened?
Tiny penises.
Tiny
I
penises,
don't
bull
know
scrotums,
anymore.
dice bags. Oh yes, nerd show. Just segues are hard. And
I keep telling you, they're plastic and metal. Of course they are. If they made them out of silly putty, they wouldn't work.
that's true.
Right.
That's true. They would just go squish, and
That was science.
that was science. Unless the putty dried up, and I guess you could potentially make.
Never had
A
silly
segue.
putty dry up.
Then they would go
Silly
crush.
putty can't dry up. It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Like,
Oh
Oobleck.
man, that just.
Have you ever put that on speakers?
I love
It's
Oobleck.
the coolest fucking thing ever. At one point, we bought cornstarch because I needed it for a recipe, and I used the rest of it to make oobleck. And we just kept it in our cabinet for me to play with when I got bored. It was great. Yeah.
We gotta do we need to do an oobleck run.
Can we just make oobleck and put it on a speaker and video it and put it on our YouTube channel with cool
Wubby,
music?
Wubby, 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 boom, boom, boom,
It
boom.
reminds me of Flubber.
We'll just find one of those like bass test audio files and just set it on a subwoofer and see what happens.
Or you can just use Skrillex. Or, correction, you could actually use some good dubstep.
Whatever works.
I really like dubstep more than I want to like dubstep. Like, it's really good at the gym.
That's because you can march to it. You can just, as soon as you start running, you can just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah. And it distracts you with the weird noises.
And then it sounds like two Transformers having sex after a while.
It does. Oh my god, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, Jesus. Optimus, what are you doing?
Who are you doing? Because they were having sex.
Come here, Bumblebee.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Wow, this show is weird.
This is what happens when we get a topic 2 hours before we start recording.
Yeah, we're starting late, guys. So, and we had no topic up until, a few hours ago. So, today we are going to just kind of openly discuss, because we have no structure, kind of like basically what nerd culture has been, what it is now, what it could be, what we feel ourselves, how we qualify as nerds, quote unquote, I guess. Because obviously we started this podcast for a reason, and it's called the Nerd Effect for a reason, because we feel like we are nerdy enough to call ourselves the host of this show.
Did you like the moment on Friday where Sarah Ober asked if we talked about nerdy things on her podcast, and I just handed her a business card with...
That was amazing. You think she's listening?
I doubt it. She was making fun of me pretty hard. I think the harder you make fun of the nerds as an adult, the more it means that you're secretly a nerd, but you're still stuck in the mentality of...
I say she seems like a fairly nerdy person.
Secretly. Sarah, if you're listening, ha 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 ha, nerd!
Welcome to the club. You don't have to check your membership card at the door. It's okay.
No, there's no sign-in book.
No, just show it to everybody. Let your Whoa,
buddy.
Geek flag.
Whoa.
Fly.
Whoa.
Whoa. Nikki, I love you. I'm sorry. And it's funny because I'm looking at another article that says how dyslexia made Henry Winkler an author.
Okay, nobody's gonna care about this but me, but the American ice dancing team.
Jesus.
Fuck you. We're talking about being nerds. I mean, come on, ice dancing. So it's a cool thing, and it's really hard to do. And they've been skating together since they were like 8. And one of the reasons they're so good together, that it's so cool that they're good together, is that the chick is dyslexic, so she's got really bad depth perception, and they do amazing things and won the gold medal. And I thought that was really cool that she's got shitty depth perception, but is a gold medalist in her sport.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Don't make fun of me. Fuck you.
I'm not making fun of you.
You were making that face that people make where they're like, nerd.
Whatever. What?
We're fighting again.
No.
Yeah, no, it just happened. It's okay, just kidding. Okay.
You two becoming like a married old couple. I'm getting blank, weird looks from both of them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You made it weird.
I made it weird.
You made it weird.
I'm good at making it weird. It's what I excel at.
It's true. It's a skill. You should market that.
That is totally remarkable.
Like, if people have, like, families staying with them and they don't want them to anymore, you could rent out your services and just go hang out.
Hey,
and
guys.
Just make it awkward. And then they leave.
Does this look infected?
Zoosh. Aw. I just spit everywhere.
Aww.
Laser
Now we have to mark
noises.
that microphone as Nikki's.
Yay! We could put cat stickers on it. That would work. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Nikki. Oh, maybe I can get my mother-in-law to do it. We should put like little Nerd Effect logos right across.
Oh, yeah, you could totally do that.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, she thought my mother-in-law actually made that Nerd Effect sticker for my car, you know?
Right.
You put it on it?
No,
Oh.
It's been kind of icky.
Yeah, it
So
has.
I need to wash my car first.
Yeah.
I've got Blender going now. Because I was going to make a 3D logo previously, but I couldn't get my Maya to work because it's too old.
Oh, Jesus, when you said Blender, I thought you legitimately meant a blender.
Yeah, I thought you meant that you had a blender still going at your house
it's
currently. Just 'cause.
Blender. It's a 3D software. It's
Yeah.
free.
No, I
get it
know
now.
what it is. I just
But I
didn't
had
know
no
that's
idea
what
how
you're
to
talking
use
about.
it, so I had to do some playing around, familiarizing, watching a lot of YouTube videos.
I have a
so-
friend in England that
I got it
makes
figured
a
out
lot
now.
of special effects. He's getting into making independent movies, and he uses Blender.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with what it does, so
I've heard good things.
I'm going to work on some stuff, see what I can come up with.
Yay!
Boom.
You should make a 3D D20 that can play rotating in the initiative shows on YouTube.
Not very hard to do, actually.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I suggested it. I'm spinning my hand like a D20 floating in space. I'm done now. I was hypnotizing them.
No, not really.
Well, Dustin was just doing this and staring blankly.
Well, I was thinking
That's
about,
his normal look.
Oh,
Hi guys.
that's funny. I was actually thinking about like us doing a video of us playing and stuff, and then have some like intense moment where we do like the slow motion dice rolling from like a low angle. So it's like at the dice angle while you guys are throwing it in slow motion, and
that'd be pretty cool.
that'd be
That was a really cool dice bouncing sound effect.
Yes.
By the way, Artisan Dice, if you're listening, we love you and we need a sponsor. Thank you. Bye.
They have cool shit on
Right?
there.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, I wish I had a dice budget. I would spend it all on their website.
Yeah, they just
2 sets are enough, apparently.
No.
I want bronze dice.
Nikki,
Damn it.
I got 2 freaking Ziploc bags full of random dice. You can't have enough.
No,
Never.
there's a reason I'm not in charge of budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
No.
but everybody's got special dice.
Yeah.
The ones that mean the
know.
most to you, I imagine.
Mine are special because they came from my brother.
See?
But I want to pick out super cool, awesome metal ones
The-
from that website.
The dice that I own, those are my first set. So I mean they hold that to me.
Yeah, these are my first set, and they were my brother's first set, and he passed them down to me.
I didn't have anybody to pass any on to me.
I'm sorry, I'm too greedy with my dice.
That's okay. I understand.
You do have quite a hoard going. It's kind of impressive.
I only have 2 of my original dice set left. There's a really beat up die 8 and a really beat up die 12. They were from the original D&D red box.
Wow.
Boom.
Back when they came with a crayon, so you could wax in the numbers and then wipe it off the outside of the dice. It would just left a...
Mason, this set of dice right here from Artisan Dice is right up your alley.
Well, you're
A
the
full
only
set
one
of
who can
dice made completely out of old Jack Daniels barrels.
say- What?
Except for it's Jack, I prefer good whiskey.
That's just cool, though.
Like if they
Isn't
could
that
get
badass?
Jameson barrels, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, I don't.
They had some really pretty wood on there.
Yeah, no, I admit, a lot of the dice I saw on there, they were very pretty.
They got some made out of alabaster,
Ooh,
which is pretty cool.
it is cool. I have a sculpture I carved out of alabaster. It's one of the softest stones.
Yep.
My sculpture's name is Fluffy. It looks like a Quetzalcoatl dragon.
And they come in really cool boxes too, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wood boxes.
Presentation is so important.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at a product, packaging to me plays just as important a role as the actual product. Like if it's down to 2 things and one has a pretty shiny box, I will pick that one for the pretty shiny box.
Imagine take one of those boxes and you go into like a game store and you're sporting that box, pop it
you'd
open.
be the coolest nerd in the
Oh
store.
my god. You have to take a spray bottle with you.
No. If it doesn't work on cats, it's not going to work on nerds.
Fill it with soap.
Yeah.
Here's some Scotch Rock D20s he made.
I saw that.
Those are awesome.
That's really
What'd you roll? Don't care.
Whatever ends up at the bottom of my
Another
glass
drink.
by the time I'm done.
I gotta roll again? Oh, let me finish this double real fast.
Got to roll for initiative. Oh, man.
Got a drink for initiative.
Oh, God. That would be the best drinking.
If we
We'd have to call it DD&D, Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinking.
Triple D. Yeah. Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinking. I
That's
love
also what they call diners.
Critical hit.
Dice.
Chug,
Yeah.
chug, 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 chug. Oh, you fumbled. You got to drink. Drink, drink.
Anyone who passes out and or throws up gets minus 10 hit points.
It's horrible.
Fortitude save. Oh, no, never mind. She failed.
Wait, why'd you say she? Why was it me in this case? When I did drink, I can hold my boozahol. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Nerds.
Nerds.
So yeah,
So SanDisk has a 128 gig micro flash drive card.
That's not
Micro
what we're
SD
talking
card.
about tonight.
That's pretty damn nerdy to me. So 128 gigs on that.
I don't know if most
Yay,
devices
science.
can even
Yay.
use that. So
Yeah.
I think most of the phones only support up to 64, so I don't even know what you can use that in.
Well, now they do, but I'm sure as soon as they're released into the mass public, they'll support them.
need 128 gigs on your phone, people.
Music.
Again, I'll put this out
Music.
there.
Music and
Music,
pictures.
Yeah.
and as many videos as I take of my daughter, yes, I do need 128
As
gigs.
infrequently as I sort through my cat pictures, I could use that.
All right.
I think I've got like 1,500
Was it
pictures on my
Chris
phone
Hart-
right now. It's ridiculous.
Wasn't it Chris Hardwick who was just talking recently to Kit Carrington, the guy who plays Jon Snow?
Oh, I haven't listened to that one because I don't watch Game of Thrones and I don't want spoilers.
They don't. Well, I guess
You don't watch Game of Thrones?
Well, I haven't yet. I want to, but Dustin's got it on Blu-ray. We don't have a Blu-ray player. I don't particularly feel like spending money on it because we
We'll
don't have
figure
a lot
out a
of
way
that.
to. We'll figure out a way to fix this.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll figure out a way without incriminating ourselves before the end of the show. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I
Well,
want-
see, what I was thinking was convince like Nomi to start doing like Game of Thrones Sundays and watching a couple episodes every Sunday and inviting people over or something. Maybe
See, I only really like binge watching things when I'm in my pajamas.
you can be
in
in
the
your pajamas.
morning.
Nomi will be too.
Yeah.
You guys, I have a kid. Makes things hard. And Game of Thrones isn't exactly kid friendly.
No.
No, so yeah, Game of Thrones, awesome. But basically, Chris Hardwick basically comes out and says, he's like, how many pictures do you have on your phone? 11,000 something or other.
Yeah.
I was like, holy Jesus. That's a lot of pictures on your phone.
I even set up my Dropbox account to automatically upload my pictures
Yeah.
with the idea that I would then delete them off my phone. Nope. Nope.
Well, the cool thing about having an Android, too, though, is that it'll actually upload all your pictures to your Google account, too. And since your Google account's linked to your phone, if you go into your gallery, it'll show your stuff that's already been uploaded, too.
Yeah, I had that on my last Droid. That was pretty cool because there were a lot of pictures that I didn't even realize had gotten uploaded to my Google account. And then I was going through them and it was like, baby pictures of Raisin.
You're like, oh, I thought I lost these.
Yeah, because she was tiny when we got her. She was like a handful of kitten. She wasn't 2 scoops of raisins. She was a half a scoop.
Half a scoop of raisins?
Not 2 scoops.
Not even 1 scoop?
Nope. Half a scoop.
Half a scoop.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very many raisins.
Nope. She's 2 scoops now.
But what if, how much bran would you need with that?
Lots.
With a half a scoop?
Yes.
That makes no sense.
Half a scoop of raisins is a lot of raisins, buddy.
Yeah, but if they're putting 2 scoops in a thing of bran,
Let's stop talking about this.
you would need technically, I guess, a quarter of a box.
Shit got weird.
Arithmetic.
Late night Sunday math.
Fractions. Yay!
I ran out of nylon yarn. I was gonna make a TARDIS blue scrubby.
See, I don't picture that as TARDIS blue. I picture...
It's the closest of all the yarns that she gave me,
Oh.
which is why I decided.
Can you fit like a St. John's logo on it on one side?
That would be so cool, but then it wouldn't be as useful.
You can make it out of like burlap or something.
That wouldn't hold up very well. It doesn't dry very fast. They use it at veggie stands to cover the racks of produce. They wet it down at night. Keeps it from drying out.
Yep.
I know this because I got a bunch of burlap coffee sacks from my brother, and I donated them to Stonehenge.
Because you're a nerd.
And I'm a nerd.
Which is why we're here.
A fabric nerd.
Eventually, maybe, possibly, we'll
Yes.
get to the subject.
Okay. So, nerd culture has been around for a long time. In fact, I believe Chris Hardwick even mentioned that the word nerd was deemed from Revenge of the Nerds. Like, that was like its initial... no?
Nerd was around long before that.
I don't think they would have called it that if people
Or made
didn't
it
know what the word
popular.
was.
That's
Yeah.
what made it popular, probably. But the word's probably definitely older than that. I don't know the etymology of the word.
And it also brought in the stereotype of what a nerd was.
Yeah.
Somebody who was
Steve Urkel-like.
Steve Urkel-ish, or somebody who was
Smart, socially inept,
physically weak.
physically weak.
Yeah, socially...
Obsessive personality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Asperger's personality, basically. I know a lot of stuff about 3 things and don't care about anything else or interacting with other people. Yeah.
Unless those 3 people have similar interests, and then it's okay.
But really, we'll just be in the same place talking about the things we like and not listening to each other.
But so it could be a number of things. Here's the thing. I'm going to start this off by re-clarifying what I feel like the difference between a nerd and a geek is. Because, in my opinion, a nerd is somebody who seems to have a clicky bottle top.
I don't know what just happened.
A nerd is somebody to me who has a general knowledge base of most things considered nerdy. Most things. So like for example, I know things about anime, but I'm not like obsessed with it. Yeah. Now, if you were to call me, whereas a geek, I feel is somebody who is completely focused on 1 or 2 subjects at hand and can give you an in-depth rundown of how it and everything around it works, such as our buddy Brad, who could probably tell you how to tear down a World War II weapon in 5 seconds flat. Like he seems that knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. True. So, which is weird because it gives the words a little bit more of a broad spectrum. Like, for example, my cousin Cody, he could give you baseball stats out the ass, and you would never.
That is gross and not a thing I would want.
Primarily about the Seattle Mariners, but he pays attention to all other baseball too. And whenever I see him every summer, it's something new about baseball, and
because they have it every
my brain
year,
explodes,
man.
They do.
Yeah.
But he throws numbers and stats at me like
baseballs,
like it hurts my head. Baseballs. But it's but to me he's somebody who I would consider a baseball geek.
Right.
And that's just kind of how even though it's kind of a jockey thing, but
I'm a giant nerd who is a geek about specific things. I kind of use the word geek the same way.
Mm-hmm. Like homesteading.
Giant homesteading geek.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would somewhat consider myself a video game geek. I'd probably call myself a wrestling geek.
You're a giant wrestling geek.
So that's kind of where I sit with the word nerd versus geek. So I like the word nerd a lot better. To me, it seems a little more, I don't know, not socially acceptable. That's not the word I'm looking for.
It's not the insult it used to be.
Yeah, it's not the insult it used to be. Let's not confuse nerds with hipsters, goddammit, because I will punch a hipster.
I am a nerd who dresses like a hipster. I'm a nerd who dresses like a hipster. Mostly because hipsters dress like nerds now.
Well, that and you have never left the 90s grunge.
You know what? Flannel's awesome and fuck you guys.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, Nikki. It'll come back around.
It's never left, man.
Okay.
I might be
just going to nod and smile.
Plaid.
Step away.
Giant plaid.
Whatever, Al Borland. Think. 90s.
Yeah.
Home improvement.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Nothing.
Are you calling me an overweight 30 to 40-year-old man? Like
bearded man.
Bearded man. I'm not, though.
I'm just making flannel. Come on.
I know.
Don't hate on me for
like to take jokes and make them awkward because mine are usually awkward.
So all the things must be now awkward?
I'm projecting.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess let's start with that. Is that a feasible, agreeable, semi-cool definition?
It's a working definition, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really defined them as anything different than one another.
But people who call themselves one or the other consider them to be so different. Yeah. It's funny.
Because geeky and nerdy are very, very similar. It's just, to me, geeky has more of a
narrow
focus, a very narrow focus on something.
Whereas nerds are just like, I like this stuff.
All right. Well, okay. I've also seen it compared to as
I would say a lot of nerds there's a lot of nerds know a lot about a lot of things, but they almost always have, like, in the case of using Dustin's terminology, that there's also something they're a geek about.
Yes.
Like, in the case of me, I would be a Star Wars geek, an Elder Scrolls geek, a Firefly geek, among others.
Retro gaming geek.
Right.
Yeah.
I've told you my Wi-Fi name, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because it makes me laugh.
So, but there, it's like for example, I'm not a Star Trek geek by any stretch. I don't care that much about Star Trek, but I don't not know things about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still
Because you're a nerd and you like to know about things. We collect
Right.
knowledge,
Yeah.
but there's a few things that we geek out about.
And like academically, I like to know all the things, but I'm pretty much an anthropology geek.
I've started listening to history podcasts at work. Because learning's good.
Yes.
Yeah. BBC Radio 4 has one called A History of the World Through 100 Objects.
Huh.
It is amazing. It makes me kind of sad because I know there's only 100 episodes, but
Yeah.
it's really good.
So it ends at 100?
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, it's the guy that hosts it is the director of the London Museum, and he just chose 100 things to show mankind's progression through the ages, and it's really fascinating. Yeah. Because I like to know things about history because I'm a nerd. I am not good at calling things up in situations like trivia night, but in just day-to-day conversation, I can pull facts out of my ass like nobody's business.
I don't want that.
I can...
Again, out of the ass is gross.
Touche. I
Keep
can't
your
ever
facts in your ass.
I can never cite my knowledge.
Touche. Fancy nerd. The word is not touche, it's touche.
Yeah. If I
Touche
say
sounds
touche to anyone
classier.
other than you, they're going to think I'm talking about their butt.
They're wrong.
Well, we were talking about stuff coming out of the ass, so.
Yeah. It's full circle.
So,
All right.
That's
touche.
enema,
Sure.
not douche.
Ew.
Oh, I didn't even go there, man.
Dustin.
Yeah, you like out-mic'd Mike on that one.
You really
You're
did.
welcome.
No.
I did not thank you.
I wasn't thanking you. I was pointing something out that you should correct.
Anyway.
Douching's really, really bad for you guys. You
Okay.
ladies.
Yeah.
I was saying,
That would
I
be very
don't
bad
think I'll
for
ever
us.
need to. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah,
I think
we're
Nikki
douching
just
something's
out-mic'd us.
wrong.
Because it's disgusting and I don't understand how it's still a process that people go through. Like how... Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways.
So I did some Wikipedia on Nerd. Apparently nobody really knows where it came from.
I know where
First-
geek came from.
Yeah, no, I'm not going there. First appearance of the word nerd came from a Dr. Seuss book in 1950.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
cool.
sounds familiar.
I like that
Which
it
one
came
was it?
from him.
Which one was it?
It was If I Ran the Zoo.
Okay.
So a Nurgle, a nerd, and a seasucker too. Seersucker. I don't have any idea there.
That's a fabric.
Yeah, seersucker's a fabric.
It's a good fabric.
Some nerds do belong in a zoo.
So,
Another possible origin was the
I'm just
word
picturing an
nerd
exhibit.
with a U, so a different spelling of it.
right.
Basically, it's like drunk spelled backwards, so a canerd.
No.
But yeah, that's what somebody put down, I guess. The
Why
other
would it
theory
be drunk
is that
spelled backwards?
the really smart guys at Northern Electric Research and Development, NERD, is where it may have originated from. It's a
I'm
laboratory
gonna
that
go
was
with
in
the Dr.
Ontario.
Seuss definition because it makes me really happy.
Yeah, it does.
And
He was
apparently
amazing.
the term was
Theodore
popularized
Giesel.
in the 70s from Happy Days. Apparently they used the word nerd in Happy Days a lot.
Monday,
I don't-
Monday, happy days.
Tuesday,
Wednesday, happy days.
I started to say. So yeah, there's a few theories on the
Yeah.
evolution of where it came from.
Ayy.
Hey.
Nerd.
I still
Nerd.
like my idea of a joke about a Canadian Fonz.
Canerd.
It goes, ayy.
Oh.
I wish I could just formulate the joke, because in my mind it is hilarious, and I can't get it out. Like, it's just the Fonz dressed as a Mountie saying A.
You should
With a
draw it.
Molson.
Yeah,
Put it on paper.
I don't think I could draw the Fonz. And have it be recognizable enough as the Fawn that people would get
You'd
that it
have him in
wasn't
the
just a
Mountie
Mountie.
jacket with his collar popped up.
And a jukebox.
And a Molson.
And that's what makes us nerdy.
It's true.
One of the other great nerd abilities to mash things up beyond
Oh my
repair.
god, so much.
Everything is steampunk.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of research on steampunk, trying to keep up her D&D stories and stuff like that.
And also
It's
because
hard
it's awesome.
because I get so distracted by, ooh, they did a steampunk this or they did a steampunk that. And so I'm going off looking at other stuff. I'm
Have
trying to
you
do
seen
research.
the pictures of Disney's whatever parade they do that's like steampunk Disney? It's a thing they have. I don't remember what it's called, but it looks fucking rad. I am not a Disney nerd, but I would go to Disney World and watch a steampunk Disney parade. Like,
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
yeah, it blew my mind. I don't remember what it's called, but I mean,
I think I might have seen a few pictures. in the
Yeah.
section.
I say one of my favorite steampunk mashups is still Steampunk Boba Fett because he looks awesome.
I saw a really wicked steampunk TARDIS the other day. It
nice.
was pretty awesome.
I like the steampunk R2-D2 that makes the rounds every so often.
I just saw that pop up on
Yeah.
my Facebook feed, actually.
I believe it was your father-in-law that I saw it from.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. Steampunk Disney.
Actually, that's right. The dice company we were talking about earlier, they just
Mm-hmm.
posted it up and said, oh, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. That's what it was.
Disney Festival of Fantasy
Yep.
Parade.
That's what it is.
And the Maleficent has joined it, I guess.
I'm excited for that movie because Angelina Jolie's hot. Even with crazy horns.
I
Agreed.
can't argue that.
Nope. Nobody can.
You know who else still looked really hot,
Hackers.
even when they're
Mm.
supposed to be ugly? Was that
Mila Kunis.
yes in the Oz movie? Like,
I haven't
as
seen
the
that,
Wicked Witch,
actually.
like
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I heard people actually complaining about the fact that she was so hot when she was supposed to be not at all.
It's Mila Kunis. It's kind of impossible for her to not be hot.
Which just makes it so funny that she voices Meg.
Yeah.
Poor Meg.
I remember somebody had redrawn like because Mila Kunis did like a photo shoot for GQ or something like that, and then they redrew Meg in the same poses.
Oh, how funny.
It was pretty funny.
Oh,
I feel so bad for Meg.
Oh, Meg.
So,
she's a fictional
nerd
character.
empathy.
It's okay.
yeah.
I know, but I'm a nerd, which means fictional characters are very real to me.
Besides,
There is
she's the one
that.
she went to jail, got tattoos, and beat the shit out of everybody.
And turned
So it was
into
all
a
worth
giant
it.
raging bull dyke, and it was awesome. I'm allowed to say that, and you guys aren't.
At least not without getting strange looks.
Oh, God. That episode made me laugh really hard.
Mhm.
So,
What are you doing with that loofah? Don't worry about it.
so shall we go? Oh, and Nikki's broken. Oh,
Well, we've been rewatching Family Guy, and Ange has been skipping around a lot, and I think I'm gonna have to request that episode tomorrow. Have you guys seen the one where Stewie meets Miley Cyrus and she ends up being a robot?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Well, Stewie writes a song and they sing it. Friendship is the best ship ever, except for best friendship, which is a little better. You mean a lot better. I mean a lot better. I had that stuck in my head all week last week, and it was awful.
Yeah, I can see why.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna sing it next time at your face, and then you'll be sorry.
Wait till tomorrow. Do it to him at work.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Don't do it.
Whatever,
You
he
come up
plays
behind
the
me and just-
Cisco hold music every time it's on. I hear you rocking out to that so frequently.
Wait, which song?
The Cisco hold music?
Oh, well, I'll actually.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like, Nikki.
I know,
Nikki."
that's what I
I'll put it on
just said.
speakerphone.
yeah, no, he shares the joy.
Yeah.
I gotta
So,
incorporate it into a game sometime.
ding.
It's awful.
Yep.
Hmm.
So, Mike,
Yeah.
what makes you a nerd?
Monkey tits.
I figure we'll just...
Sorry. Everybody was thinking it.
No, I really wasn't.
I was not
Well,
either.
now you are.
Thanks for nothing.
My
for lots
42-inch
of things.
monitor that I use for gaming. What else do you need?
Well, what are some of your qualities that you would make you a geeky individual, nerdy
Alright.
individual?
The fact that he went by Decker for years?
Yes. I went by the name Decker for quite a long time.
Don't you still?
That's how I met you.
Yeah.
That's how I met
That
you,
was
too.
like
I haven't
5,
used it in
6
recent
years
years
ago.
because I haven't really been hanging out with the crowds I used to. But if I go downtown and people recognize me, they usually recognize me as Decker.
It's really hard for me not to call you Decker. In fact,
Yeah.
I think you're in my phone as Decker. Yeah.
Would surprise me.
I just thought for like at least a couple of years your last name was just Decker.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea it was actually Morgan.
Yeah, it was just a nickname, and I just used it, and everybody else used it, so I just stuck with it.
In fact, I think when I first met you and I first got your phone number, I actually programmed you into my phone as Mike Decker. That's how I had programmed it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I already had known Mike's name. I actually met him as Mike before I knew the Decker nickname. But when I got my first cell phone, I actually programmed him in as Decker because it was easier because there were less people with D names
Yep.
that I had at the time than M's.
I know a lot of Mikes.
I got 5 mics already. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Got 99 problems, but a Decker ain't one.
Lol. Love it.
Yeah.
So a little background for people in case they're wondering where that comes from. Blade Runner. Harrison Ford, he plays Rick Deckard. So, yeah, that's where it comes from.
Which, by the way, they're having a screening of down at the Egyptian.
Really? Because I still
Yeah.
haven't seen it, and that would be fucking bomb.
That's like at the end of March, like March 23rd or something like
But
that.
is it going to be...
Excuse
like
me.
tickets
I'm
are
actually
$9.
looking at my calendar. How much?
$9?
Nikki, if you haven't seen it, catch the regular version, watch it first. If it's the director's cut they're going to play at the theater, it won't make any sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's some
they-
voiceovers that are missing
They,
and stuff that.
There was a lot of
Interesting.
voiceovers in the original that you kind of needed to understand the story, and in the director's cut they decided to take them out.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, I imagine it would be the theatrical version.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
And also, Ridley Scott's cut it like 4 different times.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Do they?
Okay, that's what that's from, because I was
The short
listening to this
answer
podcast
is
that was
yes.
like a...
Yeah, the short answer is
It
yes.
was like a
but
cyberpunk detective, and they had this weird cutscenes. I think it was from the 90s. I think it was a radio show that they just turned into a podcast. And they had these weird cutscenes where these, like, I always pictured them as, like, Japanese anime droids would do this little comedy routine, and that was one of the lines that they said.
well, okay.
I didn't know that's
Blade
what it was
Runner is. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is the novel that Blade Runner is based off of, and the novel is by Philip K. Dick.
from. Okay.
I actually can't read the novel because of the discrepancies between Do Android Dream of Electric Sheep and Blade Runner. Because I've seen Blade Runner so many times, it is the gospel to me.
Yeah.
Not Do Android Dream of Electric
Isn't
Sheep.
it funny how the order that you take things in can affect which one you decide to go off of?
Sometimes,
Interesting.
but like an example that's not necessarily reversed of that, but also less differences, but still notable differences is Harry Potter. I started watching the movies first, so I was like, I will watch the movies, then read the books.
Yeah, see, I try to read the books first usually.
It was just, that's the way it happened for me. And
Sometimes you can't help it.
I ended up, even before the Harry Potter movies were completely done, I ended up going through and reading Goblet of Fire, because I wanted to be able to compare the movie Goblet of Fire to the book Goblet of Fire to the types of friendship that Aristotle puts forth in the Nicomachean Ethics for a class of mine on ethics or on aesthetics.
Nice.
Yeah, my teacher loved the paper.
That sounds like an awesome paper.
so I ended up reading that book out of order from the books, but like it was like the 6th movie was coming out that year, so it wasn't like, you know, I didn't know what. I already knew what had happened.
Stuff like that where the movies are so well made, I just decide that I'm going to view them as separate entities because I want to enjoy both.
Yeah,
Like-
but I'll say also like my characters are firmly locked as to how they look. When I noticed.
Oh
it when
yeah,
I was
I
reading
get
it.
so angry when I watch something and it's not how I pictured them.
Yeah, but my picture of the Harry Potter characters are, you know, Daniel Radcliffe and, you know, all the other stars.
Speaking of ruining books and movies, did you see that they're remaking It?
No.
Yep.
but
Because, you
Tim
know,
Curry's too old. He can't.
I know, and no one else can be Pennywise.
No one else can be Pennywise. He was the perfect actor for
Had the
it.
crazy eyes and everything. Yeah. Yeah, they're remaking, and that popped up, I think it was a Nerdist post earlier
How
this
about
morning.
the remake of Beetlejuice?
Oh, no, they're doing a sequel.
Pseudo a sequel.
It's
not
a sequel,
remake.
not a
Okay.
remake.
Right. Sorry, you said remake, so I was thinking remake.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
A
there's
sequel,
another
yeah.
one they're doing a sequel to also that I got really excited about, and I can't remember what it was now.
I mean,
Oh, but they're making a Heroes sequel.
The idea of a remake of Beetlejuice is like sacrilegious in my eyes.
Okay, so here it is. Blade Runner, March 13th. Tickets are $9. BoiseClassicMovies.com.
That's awesome.
85 bought. 115.
Does it say which version of the movie?
Let's see. What if Han Solo were a detective instead of a smuggler? Blah, blah, blah. Something there.
And what if he was an archaeologist instead of them?
What? I'd be like Indiana Jones.
I know, wouldn't it?
Oh, God. In case anyone's wondering, this is why we're nerds, by the way.
Highlights: beer and wine, real science fiction, super creepy Rutger Hauer, and
I
a
feel
dreamy
like
young
telling
Harrison
us that they're
Ford.
serving wine is gonna
And super
improve the
creepy
chances.
Rutger Hauer, yeah. Wait, isn't that every time Rutger Hauer's on screen?
Probably. If tickets fail to sell, no payments will be collected, no tickets will be issued, and no movie will be screened. So it's kind of like almost like a Groupon style showing. Like you have to.
That's how Boise Classic Movies always does. They're showing.
So you got to sell at least 200 tickets before it'll
Well,
show.
I am texting the boss, letting her know about
What
that.
what day is March 13th?
I would assume it would be a weekend.
No, they're usually weekdays. For
Oh, are
the-
they? Well,
Thursday.
I guess that makes sense, so it doesn't interfere with their normal stuff.
Thursday at what?
Like 7 p.m. probably.
It doesn't say. Or at least not here.
That would be
Oh,
so
7
cool,
p.m.
too.
Tickets are bought on, so Thursday, March 13th, 2014 at 7 p.m. Tickets are bought online, $9, includes sales tax. And then,
That's cheaper than Edwards.
Yeah.
We saw a thing when we drove by Edwards the other day. I keep meaning to look into. They're doing $5 Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I don't know if is it matinees only?
I don't know. I haven't.
Because-
I've driven by it too and seen it.
As somebody who can't afford to go to movies, that would be really, really cool.
so Mason,
Yeah.
what makes you a nerd?
I was born this way, to quote
Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
My,
Yeah.
my father-in-law would be proud. He's a
I'm
monster.
on the nerd track,
Okay.
baby. I was born this way.
Okay, I wasn't gonna try singing it, but
Nikki's a little
you.
monster too, apparently.
I live with one. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela's a Gaga fan.
Loves. I don't not like her. I just don't get into that kind of music as much as she does. But Ange really loves Lady Gaga, so I get to listen to it a lot.
But yeah, no, it's just I don't know. I've always been like the big thing is like I always have loved to learn things,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the things they wanted me to learn in school,
High five, buddy.
but learning things.
I got in trouble for reading a textbook for a different class under my desk in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta think of it though. You gotta think of school as a job, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's like if you were working a job at, say here, where you're trying to learn title, and you're reading a book about how to do surgery,
Yeah,
has
but
nothing
it
to,
was
has
fourth
nothing to
grade.
do with what you're trying to learn at that moment in time.
But it was fourth grade, and I knew what they were doing, which is why I was reading something
Yeah,
else.
that was usually my problem. Was
Yeah.
is that like when they were trying to do like spelling and stuff,
Oh God, I hated
I
waiting
was-
for everyone else in spelling.
and doing,
Hurry up.
and, it was
I've
like,
been done for 10 minutes.
yeah, it's like I was done. Like I was reading at a collegiate level in 6th grade.
Yep, I was too.
I was reading at
I
a
had
high
to go to
school
the
level
public
in
library
like
to get
3rd.
books.
Yeah, and
I taught myself how to read when I was 4.
I was doing they had to accelerate me into science in like 3rd grade. I was doing 5th grade science. In 4th grade, I was doing 6th grade science. And they ran out of things for me to do in science because I had done everything in the grades I was going to, but they couldn't actually send me to the junior high to learn science. It was like I was all the stuff and I was good at math, but I was just kind of staying at pace with
God, I
math.
hate math.
Now I realize that I could have been a lot further in math because I'm actually good at it. But yeah, it was just, I was always ahead of all the other kids in my classes. But whether or not my parents decided it was a good thing not to advance me in grades, which is probably a good thing simply because when you skip more than a grade, you start being too young for your peers.
Mm.
So, yeah. But I was always so far above the norm for schools that I was usually terminally bored with my classes, unless it was something that I had no outside frame of reference for, like when I was taking like French in high school or junior high, that I was on par with my, with everyone else in the class because no
They
one else in the
hadn't
class
studied,
spoke
yeah.
French.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But besides that, I've also always been big into what if scenarios, which is fantasy, science fiction, things like that.
Oh my God, like, what's your zombie apocalypse plan that we all had ridiculously detailed answers to?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still tweaking mine. Made me realize all the flaws in my plan.
Sorry, but so things like that. I just the what ifs and the not real worlds of fantasy and science fiction really got me. And then, I found out about video games and computer games. Well, same thing really there. And, role playing games, and I could create or participate actively in some way in these other worlds. And yeah, I kept going from there. And I love comic books too.
Nikki, what are your nerdy tendencies and what makes you a nerd?
I've always been a giant nerd. I totally got beat up. I actually saw my elementary school bully at Fred Meyer's today and still had an almost panic attack, and I'm almost 30. That's
called PTSD.
Oh my
And-
God. No, for reals. Like, I had friends, and then one of my friends
Oh, I know
made
the
friends with
feeling.
this chick, and that chick didn't like me. So my friend started, like, hitting me and kicking me and being mean, and then told our parents that I was doing it to her, which was a total lie, but my mom believed her.
That's why I feel your pain though. It's like even now at age 30, and especially even late in high school, it's like I grew to the point where I was probably big enough to pummel half my bullies.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like I've always cowered at the idea.
Yeah.
I've just never thought.
Because we're nerds. We've got that mentality. I actually turned to Angela and I said, damn it, I was really hoping she got fat. Because that's, I did. Why couldn't she? No, but I got, the swirlies, and I was in GATE in elementary school.
Oh,
which,
yes, good old GATE.
Oh, God. And I got made fun of by the GATE kids. There was an incident involving, I like to play with the electronics. That's what I loved about it, was they always had, like, batteries and motors, and I really liked the Morse code things. I don't remember any Morse code except SOS now, but I was
It's all you really need.
Yeah,
I
was
liked learning
obsessed with that.
QBasic in 7th grade. That was fun.
Like at one point I made this really cool, it was like a little car that had a fan on it, and I had like tweaked the motor so it went really fast so it would propel the fan. And my GATE teacher was so impressed with it that she let me take it home and show my parents, which you weren't supposed to take that stuff home with you. And that's what I was always doing when we had free time, was I was over tweaking that stuff. And one day we had a substitute teacher in, and she always brought us candy, and it had been a hot day, and she left the candy out in her car, and it was Butterfingers. So, you're a little kid, you eat candy, and it gets all over your hands, you lick your hands. Apparently one of the batteries that I'd been playing with had leaked all over my hands. So I ended up having to go to the nurse's office and gargle salt water because I licked battery acid. And of course, because the other kids in GATE, they weren't necessarily nerds. They were like the straight A students, smart kids that were just advanced. I was the nerd in there. And so they told everyone that I was eating batteries. And I've still run into people that I haven't seen since then that give me shit about that.
That's just mean.
Yeah, it's just mean. But I mean, I was the nerd. I was I got picked on, and I was the kid.
You
that
were the social outcast of
Yeah.
social outcasts.
my first friend that I made friends with because he got picked on and I got picked on. And I still talk to him via Facebook. And like I was the kid that tried to stay inside and read books during recess because I did not want to be out with the other kids. But I didn't really get into what I would now consider to be super nerdy stuff. Like, I wasn't really allowed to play video games all that much. We had a Nintendo, but Mom didn't pull it out that much. I wasn't allowed to buy comics because they were a waste of time and money.
Lies.
I know.
Yeah.
I drew my own. That's what I wanted to do for a really long time. But then when I didn't really start getting into what I consider to be super nerdy things until I got a job and had my own money to burn on them. And it was just downhill from there. Yeah.
It's not downhill. It's uphill.
No, it was
it's
uphill,
an ascension.
Yeah. I was too old for people to pick on me for reading comic books. We didn't have recess anymore. It was totally fine. Yeah. And I still obsess on things.
I always wanted to stay inside and play Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oregon Trail.
You have died of dysentery.
We had fucking Mavis Beacon teaches typing.
Fuck Mavis Beacon.
I hated Mavis Beacon. My parents,
Mario teaches typing is where
Yeah.
it was at, baby.
my parents got that, and then they got Math Blaster, which
I love me
fucking
some-
hated
Oh,
Math
you didn't
Blaster.
like Math Blaster?
I hate math.
Reader
I hate
Rabbit?
it so bad.
Come on, Reader Rabbit.
Reader Rabbit was great. I was good at Reader Rabbit, but Math Blaster.
Wow, that's a real throwback right
Oh
there.
my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I forgot all about all those until you said something.
Like, I remember learning typing on the green and black screens with pause.
Mhm.
They called it pause.
Pause. Holy
yeah,
shit.
with that fucking cat.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, that fucking cat.
Like an old DOS program.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
I remember seeing Hackers for the first time and going into the DOS programs on my parents' computer and feeling like I was hacking it. I thought it was cool shit.
Win.exe, baby. Bam.
Because I had to use DOS to open my Mario was missing program, so I
Any
felt like
of you
cool
guys
shit.
ever use, I think it was called Logo, where you had a turtle,
Yes.
and you had to give it commands. So you had to pen up, pen down command. You tell it which direction to turn, how far to go forward or back. And if you had to pen down, it would draw on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What?
I've
I
never
had-
heard of this. This is new to me.
Did you guys have? I had a PC Junior.
It was back when I
Yeah.
was in grade school, so probably before you guys.
Yeah, I played it. I had a PC Junior in my room when I was a kid, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever. Even though I didn't have any of the giant floppies for it, so I couldn't save anything. I always wrote stuff on it, and it had an infrared keyboard. And I thought that was cool shit, because, you know, all the ones we had in school had wires, and mine was wireless. So I could sit on my bed, but not too far away from the computer where it wouldn't work. And I had this game, and it was like a map grid game, and you had to find this dude by telling it to go, like, up to, down to, and, like, entering in coordinates. And you had to chase this dude, and that was the game, and I would just play that for fucking hours.
And then there was Muds.
Muds. Multi-user dungeons.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't know about that stuff until I was older.
I remember the old Encarta software. Used to
God,
have like
I
a,
spent so long playing on Encarta.
used to have like a dungeon game that you could go crawl through.
That was really cool.
Through using encyclopedia
and
knowledge.
answering riddles and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Encarta was the best. I spent hours on Encarta. I don't think it was meant to be a game.
They made
It was
a
Well,
game.
except for the dungeon, I
Yeah.
would just browse articles. It was like Wikipedia before Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Only it was legit.
Do you remember?
Actually, for the most part, Wikipedia is on scientific, historic, on academic style articles. Wikipedia is rated to be at least as accurate as the Encyclopedia Britannica now.
Oh, nice. So fact checkers are doing better.
So apparently somebody wants to print Wikipedia now.
Oh dear,
That's a lot of
God.
paper.
Yeah, that's a
How
lot
would you
of
do
dead
that?
trees.
Well, and half the fun of Wikipedia is being able to click the links and just get sucked down that Wikipedia hole
Yeah.
for hours
The Wikipedia rabbit hole.
and just learn things. Like,
Yep.
I...
Well, have you guys actually seen like the full like Encyclopedia Britannica sets?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
My grandparents had them.
Yeah, my great grandpa has ones from like 1972
Mm-hmm.
that lined his bookcases and stuff.
Yep.
Mhm. Oh, crazy.
That's good stuff.
That's just. Yeah, I remember doing my book reports off with those things.
Oh
man.
yeah, and having to actually look shit up.
And cite
I
it.
was so excited when it turned into Encarta was like, because I remember when that first came out, that was not an accepted source in papers. Like your teachers wouldn't let you do that as research.
Encarta?
Yeah, and same with the internet. I remember in like 6th grade we had to write papers in GATE, and I did mine on UFOs. And the internet was not a viable resource that we could use.
Right.
I don't know if it's just because she wanted us to actually read books or what, but I had to go around and interview people, and it was awesome. Because that was when I wanted to be a paranormal investigator, because I wasn't a nerd at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things, like, Wikipedia is still not a valid source for writing a paper.
It can
But-
direct you towards valid
But
sources.
it can direct you to valid sources.
because they cite their sources.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know. And,
Or you can cheat and just copy the bit that's cited to that particular source and then cite the source that they cited
Right.
and then pretend you looked it up. Not that I'm condoning that at all.
I like starting.
oh, I'm fucking condoning it.
Yeah.
I like
Who has
start.
the time?
I like trying to get to the origin source on. I've only ever done it back like 3 or 4 clicks, but I've never quite gone all the way down the rabbit hole of, like, there'll be hyperlinks built into an article. You click that hyperlink, and then there'll be another hyperlink to where they got their source. And you click that hyperlink, and then it goes to its source.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, Jesus, where's the original?
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Well,
There
see,
was a
that's the nice
dude
thing about
telling
my
a
news
story
article
30
tonight.
years ago.
Actually has the published paper from Science noted in it. Just if you're not paying Science to get behind their pay gate, you're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately. I hate pay gated articles.
It's just silly.
Science should be free.
It should be free, damn it.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture I posted? One of the astronauts took it from the International Space Station of the moon setting over, like, you could see the atmosphere.
No, I didn't see that
It
one.
was gorgeous.
The atmosphere of the moon?
No, of the
Oh.
Earth. The moon doesn't have an atmosphere.
That's why I was
That
confused.
does, technically.
Well,
Well, it's just not
but-
a very big one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like just a sliver of the Earth and then our atmosphere, just this blue line, and the moon's just kind of setting into it. It was really pretty.
Ooh.
Pretty picture. I might follow NASA.
You might follow NASA?
Maybe. And Chris Hadfield. Because he's awesome. I want that book so bad.
Apparently, they had a mystery jelly donut on Mars.
Wait, what?
What?
That was a rock.
Oh,
You
the
saw
rock that appeared and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
it
a
was just like a
mystery
mystery
jelly
rock
donut?
that just showed up. Some people were saying like, "Oh my god, it looks like a jelly donut," but no, it was just this little like.
Was
Like,
it
oh
the
God,
people
it's the
that
moon
also...
landing all over
I
again.
was just going to say, is that the people that thought the moon landing was fake that were saying that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I like the meme that's out there right now where like what aliens do when they land on Earth and it's all beautiful crop circles.
Yeah.
And then it's like what we do when we land on Mars and it's like the rover had inadvertently drawn a penis and testicles on the surface of the planet
Inadvertently. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I bet that's a thing that happened, you guys.
using the tracks of the
Yeah, that's us, though. That's
Yep.
humans.
I would totally draw a penis on Mars.
So apparently Mars is just our drunk best friend that we Sharpie their face a penis on their mouth.
You know, it could be like that one game we were talking about. Pen down, rover goes.
Oh man,
So I'm nerdy. I try to be.
No,
Yeah.
you don't have 32 Mario figurines on your desk at work.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'd like to think that I consider myself nerdy 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
I guess where it all started probably for me was, somewhere back in 19-2.
Diggity too.
Diggity 2.
What?
It was probably, I think it was in kindergarten or first grade I got my very first Nintendo. And, We got one of those. You know how those little, you get those awards in the lower level classes where they're just like everybody's good at something, so let's give them an award for it.
Yeah.
I got voted.
The reason society's being awful now.
I got
We're all entitled to shit.
yeah. I got the best at Nintendo award.
That's actually a good award.
Yeah.
You deserved that award.
Probably because I was the only kid in class who probably had one, but
Either way.
I'm surprised we did, because that's like the only video game system my parents bought us.
yeah, my grandma just bought it for us. There used to be a store in Boise called Best. Do you remember that at all?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I remember that place.
It's where More Furniture is now.
Interesting.
There used to be bests all over.
Yeah, and remember they had a store display, like a stack of boxes of them, and we were just walking through the store, and I just remembered because I remember seeing them on TV, and I thought they were really cool, and they were advertised and all that stuff, and my grandma was like, okay, like just on a whim, like I never. Usually I'm having to do stuff for things, but
Do stuff and things.
well, like rake the yard or do something,
I
do
knew
some
what
sort
you
of chore or something for something. But she
Yeah.
was just on a whim, and she's like, "All right." I mean, at the time, what Nintendo?
She must have already been thinking of getting you
$150
one.
machine, maybe. Yeah. And then I played my first game of Mario, and I was pretty much hooked from there.
Downhill from there.
Yeah, I was like, I must understand everything, and and
Josh
I
should need all
I
the
had played
games.
some arcade games before that, whatever. And we've had this discussion before. Whatever the fuck happened to arcade games in
I
convenience
remember
stores?
the one time that
They should still be there.
They should still be there.
I used to go into the sub and say I was going bowling with my friends, and then just waste my bowling money playing Area 51 and fucking Bubble Bobble. And
Yeah,
shit.
and the no video games in the sub. That was depressing.
They took the video games out of the sub?
Yeah,
They did
What
when
the fuck?
a while ago when they remodeled.
they're tucked back behind.
I
the
don't
other
like
side of
change.
the behind the where the bowling alley is.
That's where they always were.
You mean where the ping pong table is now?
What?
Don't tell me. Don't,
Bros ruined it?
Don't. You're hurting my
I'm
feels.
sorry.
No. No.
Economically, arcade games are a really horrible choice right now, but still.
Because
They already had them.
you
They
had
already
you
had
had the
them.
bowling alley, you got the pool tables, and back where the video games used to be is now a ping pong table.
I did play a lot of pool at the sub as a kid. Holy shit.
What did they do with them?
They got rid of them?
Why?
How?
I don't know.
Why?
That's where I spent most of my money on Strider and
That's where I mastered Area 51. Oh my god, that game sucked up so much of my life when I wasn't allowed to play video games.
That's where I had it. That's where I had a secret love affair with a Monopoly pinball machine.
Oh god.
$20 and an hour later.
That was the one thing that disappointed me the most about Game World was the fact that the pinball machine we had was fucking Adam's Family Pinball, which is one of the glitchiest, shittiest pinball machines out there. Ball got stuck all the time.
Thanks, Bally.
God, and I love pinball. I was so mad because when
Hey,
I
Mike,
got
do you remember those displays?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I think they're interested.
That's the story we're getting.
Yeah.
It's a really shitty story.
Further on into high school and junior high, junior high, I got second place in a chess tournament.
Nerd.
I know. Lost to a guy named Josh Johnston in a double elimination tournament. I was undefeated up until that point. He had lost once, and then he beat me twice.
Aw.
But still, I had a second place trophy, and I was
pretty
proud of
sweet.
that, considering there was about 30 people in that tournament. And
I had
it
a
was,
lot
it was
of
done during
orchestra
lunches,
trophies.
and it was on my own time, and
Does that count as nerd points?
What?
Orchestra trophies.
Yes.
Okay.
but it's like the first legit trophy
That's-
I've ever won, because I played like t-ball and juniors football and stuff like that all the way up through like ninth
Aw,
grade.
T-ball's adorable. I
But-
miss watching T-ball.
But they give you basically a participation
Yeah.
trophy, like you showed up to the games, congrats, here's your trophy, your parents paid $100 for you to be here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
plus clothing.
Yeah. We're
But,
making your parents feel like it was worthwhile money even though you hit the ball twice.
Yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, I was fairly good at baseball, thank you.
I didn't mean you specifically.
I know.
I was talking more about the kid that didn't deserve the trophy.
No, you mean the kid that sat out in right field with his finger up his butt.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or up his nose.
yeah.
I was never picked for teams because I was the kid out there looking for 4-leaf clovers. If they didn't want me to do it, they should have grown more grass.
My grandpa actually has video evidence of me just basically dancing out in like fucking center field doing nothing because the ball never came out there. I was like, da-da-da, this is fucking boring. And then it's pretty funny.
That is funny.
I played catcher and third base.
I played every position once. I couldn't stand catcher because I can't sit on my haunches that long.
Oh,
I've played every position in baseball that there is to be played.
I was the scorekeeper, which is funny because of math. But
but +1,
Yeah.
+1.
and I got the rules, and it was my brother's team, so I was usually the scorekeeper. And I loved it because my mom would give me money, and I'd go get Airheads at little concession stands out at the fields out by where you live. Can't remember what they're called right now. Simplot?
Yeah,
Simplot, yeah. That little shack that they have with all the snacks, and I'd go get my Airheads, and I'd do math. And it was great.
Yeah, actually, after I turned 13, I stopped doing Little League. Well, because it was Babe Ruth is what Little League became in California at that point. And I actually started umping for Little League.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, I actually think I missed umpiring more because they paid you $5 per game as a 13-year-old.
Nice.
Free unlimited soda, and a hot dog every game you umped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's a sweet deal for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
$5, that's a comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was like
At the
two comics
time.
back
Comic
then.
and a meal.
Yeah.
That's great.
But
All the caffeine
there
you
was
can
some
drink.
there was some tragedy with my second
And it was
place chess
RC
trophy.
Cola.
Oh, no.
My next class after lunch was gym, and gym is a horrible, horrible place to be as a fat kid.
Yes, it is.
This guy named Todd. I will out him right now.
Todd.
Only because the story becomes
Todd's a stupid name.
I won't spoil it, but it does have a positive twist.
Well,
but
then tell the story.
but he snagged my trophy from me, wondering what's this. He's like, what is this? And I was like, well, I won second place in the chess. He was a grade above me, so he's significantly taller than me at the time. And then he drops it.
Oh, with air quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the crown breaks off. It was a king trophy. It said second
Oh,
place. The
yeah.
crown broke off it. And I was like, no. Like the first legit trophy I've ever won for anything. And now it broke. I don't even know where it is to this day. My grandparents did something with it.
How
But
is that a positive twist?
Well, a year later, it's 9th grade. And he's already in high school. So, my grandpa is picking me up from school, and I'm driving down Hill Road, and I see him walking with one of his buddies, and being the better man, I said, "Hey, Todd, how's it going?" I just said hi, because my window was down, and he was right there, so it's kind of hard to avoid him at that point. And he looks at me, he's like, "I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?" And I was like, "Well, we had the same gym class together, and you were kind of a jerk to me. You broke my chess trophy." And he was like, "Oh God!" And the first thing he did is he went into immediate apology mode. He's like,
Aw.
"I just want you to know I was in a completely different set of brain functioning or whatever at that time. He's like, I was in a completely different place. I was, a horrible kid." And he's like, "Whatever I did to you, I'm sorry." And I was like, I don't know how to respond to that, but thank you.
Yeah.
So I felt better about it. So, but yeah, that's just one of those things that came with being a chubby kid.
Yeah.
But
Bullies.
yeah, bullies. Didn't have many of them, to be honest with you, but
Had a lot of
they
fun.
did. The few that did, put that stamp in your brain.
They put the fear of people in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm an introvert now. It's called swirlies.
And then I'd say my biggest claim to fame in my school days was always being an art geek. Was always drawing, and I was also known as the kid who liked to draw the boobies. Nikki's got a thing.
I illustrated a book in 6th grade, and I got $50 for it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I painted a thing there was an Earth Day art contest that the state of Idaho was putting
I
on.
remember that.
And I painted a thing, and it got it didn't get any specific place, but it got out of 2,000 entries, I was one of 50 people that got an honorable mention, and it came with I got like a $50 gift certificate to Boise Blue Art Supply.
Do you remember the like literary magazines they used to do for junior high kids? Like where you could write poems and it would be in this magazine thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a magazine.
It was like a national like
spiral bound.
publication or something like that, right?
I entered a contest to design the cover of it, and I was runner-up, and I got a protractor. Or no, a T-square. It was a T-square. A big-ass T-square, and that was my prize. And I had that up through college, and that was my T-square I used for my illustration classes.
Nice.
It was a weird prize because it didn't have anything to do with the kind of art that we were learning, but...
I remember that we had there was a...
can't go wrong with T-square.
Yeah. Well, that, and if it's a big enough T-square, you can use it to fend off bullies.
I used it for my super lame webcomic frames later as an adult.
I remember there was a logo design contest that they had in our art classes too that Jake Heineman won.
Do you remember at Boise High that place down the street that had like it was like a churchy place, but it had like a skate ramp, and they had a contest to design the sign?
No.
I won that, and then they never ended up making the sign.
Jerks.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because that was gonna be fucking cool. You drive down State Street. Hey, there's that thing I designed. Bastards. Oh, art nerd stuff's the best.
I'm still trying to figure out if Kelly Knopp. Do you know who Kelly Knopp is?
Yeah. Did stuff at the
amazing
Pita Pit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that was my question. He did the Pita Pit stuff.
Yeah, it's signed on the inside, I believe. He's done a lot of stuff.
That's amazing because Pita Pit's like a national
He does
chain
a
now.
lot of illustrations for Boise Weekly too.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. So does Noble Hardesty.
Yeah. Art Nerd Rage.
Go for it.
I drew super lame comics and passed them around to my friends in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Never really got any. Nobody really dug them other than like Sarah Spank and Heidi and Kim Bean. Years later, when my brother was at Boise High, he stole my plots, redrew them in a shittier way, and they got in the newspaper. The Boise High newspaper. I was so pissed off. I'm like, that was my comic and you stole it and you got published. Go.
In 8th grade, we were divided up into teams. They decided to divide the grade levels into a blue and a white team. So you had 7th grade
I
blue and
remember.
white at
It was
North.
to get used to block scheduling, right? Isn't that
Well, that was at
at
Boise High. Did block scheduling.
Well, yeah, but I seem to remember in junior high they weaned us into it.
Well,
with teams.
I went to North Junior High.
Oh, I went to LeBlanc.
And they did, and our school colors are blue and white.
Mm-hmm.
And so they divided up the teams into.
My mom teaches.
I think
there.
in 8th grade was like when they first decided to do that, because I remember that they had like a mascot design contest, and everybody had to vote on a team name for each side. So the white team was the Trailblazers. The blue team ended up being the Smurfs, but the Smurfs had to be spelled with a PH so we didn't get sued.
Oh my gosh.
And so my design for the Smurf got chosen as our team logo. So every time our team had like a team newsletter or something like that, bam, there it was.
That's
right
awesome.
There. And it was basically I just took a normal Smurf, like looked like from the 80s cartoon, and retrofitted it so that it looked like it was like a current, like he had current clothes on, instead of the hat and white pants.
Nice.
So, and then that was basically our logo.
I did
And I got nothing for it other than recognition.
a contest for Newton Heralds.
Uh-huh.
Because that's been around for a bazillion years. And they had a skateboard deck design contest. And I got second place. So first place, they put your design on a deck and you got one and they sold them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you got royalties or anything like that. You just got one for free and they got free artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But I got like a $20 gift certificate to Newt's and it was awesome.
Sweet.
Got me some sunglasses, yo. And
Okay,
then
so
lost them.
they actually have something for less than $20 at Newton Herald's?
Well, my mom had to pay for some of it.
Oh, okay.
And the truth shall set
And
you
then,
free.
being an 8th grader, I lost them immediately afterwards.
Yeah. I don't remember what my prize was, but when I was in elementary school, there was it was like a calendar for Boise housing, and I did get an artwork piece that I entered in. Did win one of the 12 that got on the calendar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So even, God, I can't remember what year or anything that was, but yeah, okay.
Awesome.
I did have one I won.
Okay, who else did the Albertsons coloring contests and was disappointed every time they didn't win?
Totes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally stayed in the lines and everything, and then there's always some stupid 4-year-old who
Yeah.
scribbled on it.
No, your age is more, like, if you had lied and put a different age on there, you would have won. Yeah.
It's like I even tried to make it look 3-dimensional. You cover it darker from the outside, lighter to the inside.
I did one where I used pointillism and markers. And it was
Jesus.
really good because that was when we were learning that in art class, and it was my favorite thing because you got to just do that on the paper. And
Ooh, I think I did that too.
yeah, that was super fun. I made a picture for my grandma one year, and it was a Christmas bell, and she kept it, and I got it back when she passed a few years ago, and it was super special that she kept it after all those years. But yeah, I did one with that, with pointillism, and it was super pretty and looked awesome. And nope. So damn you, Albertsons.
Joe Albertson must be spitting in his grave right now.
You better be. I don't know, man. I'm derp.
I was trying to think of good bully stories too. I couldn't come up with any. I had one bully when I was in elementary school. After a couple of years, I stood up to him one time, and he decided not to fuck with me anymore.
Really?
And ever since then, I never had any bullies. It was always like, this guy was bugging my friend, so I was like, okay, yeah. So, guy kept, like, he chased my friend around the schoolyard. And it was just like, why do you run then? It's like just kind of stupid. So I was like, okay, fine. Next time he chases you, just run by me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. It was
Clothesline.
I think it was like that day.
Yeah.
He's running along. I see him coming. Comes right by me. Okay. The other guy car's coming up. Threw out my leg. Tripped him. He
Nice.
went face first into the grass, slid a couple feet.
Awesome.
Getting up. What the hell? I'm like, don't chase him.
I wish there was a kid
End
like you
the
around when
problem.
I was in elementary school. They made up a name about me, or a song about me. Because in elementary school you go by your first name and your last name initial.
Mm-hmm.
I was Nikki P, which I mean,
Oh,
little kids. And there's this
P.
bully, Ross Van Ravenhorst. If I saw him now, I'd probably punch him in the face.
Wow, way to throw the name out
Yeah.
there.
Oh no, this he was a dick to me. And he made up this name. And our teacher, you know how they sit you in like islands, like groups of 4 desks.
As douchey as this guy might be, he has a sweet-ass last name.
No, he was a dick. I hate the name Ross now too. But so you know how they sit you with those little desks in groups of 4? And good teachers would cycle you through and sit you next to different people throughout the year. Well, my 4th grade teacher decided that the way to get him to stop bullying me was to always make us sit next to each other.
Oh, yeah, that works.
That's the worst idea ever.
So if my shit was more than or less than an inch away from the edge of my desk, like towards his desk, he'd knock it on the floor.
Oh,
And like
God.
he made
The
this song that
douchiness.
was Nikki pissed, can't do this, so what's the use of trying? It was awful, and he chased me around and sang that, and he put sticky tack in my fucking hair, and my mom was convinced it was because he had a crush on me. I think he wanted to kill me. And my teacher kept putting me next to him, and I was so excited when 5th grade came around and we were in different classes. Oh God, that kid was a douchebag. Oh my God, and he was freakishly tall, so it was extra intimidating when he came up to you.
I only had one other bully I had 2 bullies. I had one in high school, one in... No, they were both in junior high.
Everybody
Nobody
was
really
a
fucked
bully.
with me in high school or elementary at all.
High school, nobody fucked with me because Boise High is a great place.
Yeah.
I went to LeBois. Before I went to LeBois, I went to all the elementary schools that fed into LeBois because they kept building new ones and changing the districts. So I went to Liberty, Riverside, White Pine, and then we moved like 2 blocks on the other side of Boise Avenue, and I went back to Liberty. And all of those fed into LeBois. Every time I switched schools, I hoped that it would be a new start. I wouldn't get picked on. And every time, everyone's a bully. And they all fed into LeBois, and junior high was fucking awful. And that was before open enrollment, so I had to like apply to switch to Boise High. That's how bad it was. And the only reason I got in is because my aunt taught there, so I had an in. And the principal knew me because I used to carpool with his son to orchestra. Because I was in the junior high honor orchestra when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, our vice principal followed us over from north over to Boise. Mr. Weimer.
Yep, I remember him.
Yeah, he,
See, I knew Mr. Anderson. I carpooled with his son, Kyle.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, Mr. Weimer was our vice principal over at North Junior High, and
That's
then he
cool.
came over to do...
Oh man, baby
Boise High.
nerd stories.
Aw.
I was just Sorry, I had another story come to mind.
Oh, go for it.
So I had half a semester that I did in was Lake Oswego, Oregon.
Uh-huh.
And they have the 4-year high schools there, so the 9th graders are in
Kind of
high
like how
school.
Meridian High does.
Yeah,
or
it was when I
Meridian-
was a sophomore, so
Well, that's how Boise does it too.
I was at Boise. Well, not when I was there, but
Boise doesn't do that. Meridian
4-year
does.
high schools?
No, you're
Oh yeah, you're right.
sophomore,
Sorry.
junior,
Yeah,
senior.
yeah, sorry,
That's
Yeah.
3.
Right.
I done lied.
It's a junior high school
You
system.
went through the
not
system
a
and you don't know
freshman.
how
not
many years
an
it took you?
elementary, middle, high.
Yeah.
yeah. So the freshmen were at
I
the high
tired.
school there,
Yeah.
and so that was
Which is
when
just a bad idea.
Yeah, I started off as a sophomore at Boise High,
Mm-hmm.
and well, not like I really had any issues there anyway.
Boise High was great.
Moved over there, and here it's like, oh, well, I'm not the bottom of the food chain here. Weird, but I think people didn't fuck with me there because I was kind of freaking scary. Basically dressed like a stoner.
Okay.
You know, the jean jackets, rock t-shirts, just that's how I dressed at that time. For some reason, everybody called me Squid, which I've never understood. I'd walk by their smoking area, and I'd all hear was just like, Squid! And just everybody yelling it, and I'm just like, don't understand, not even gonna try.
Yeah, no.
But there was this one freshman kid there that was just the skinniest, nerdiest little guy. I mean, he would spend his lunches in a computer lab doing log algorithms for fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was like, he was like amazingly nerdy. But, I met him because I was out, going out back from one of the back doors of the school, just kind of looking around actually, because trying to get used to the place. And 2 guys picking on him, shoving him around, giving him shit. So I jumped their shit. And, you know, he was my buddy when the whole time I was there. So it was fun.
You saved a nerd.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, where were the kids like you when I was in school?
And that was the year that I had this one girl that was a senior was trying to ask me out.
Ooh.
And basically I was confused by this and went, you realize I'm a sophomore, right? And then she got all embarrassed and like, oh, I'm sorry, and ran away. And then I'm like,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
As Mason
exactly.
slaps you upside the head.
Yeah, about 5 minutes later, I'm just like, what am I doing? I don't care about this stuff.
Nerd.
But yeah, too late.
Wah, wah. I had something similar happen to me in high school too. Like I probably could have had a girlfriend in high school if I would have responded different to a particular scenario.
If we
Okay.
weren't nerds,
But
basically.
I
is-
just basically
Yeah.
yes. So well, the thing is that it
like,
was
human affection.
yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, the way it happened is that me and my buddy Andy were standing in the hallway. We were talking just bullshit, and I was like, I don't understand why somebody, like, I can't seem to get a girl to go out with me. And then out of nowhere, girl who shall remain unnamed, like, cause she was kind of a friend of ours, like, not really, like, she was a theater student. If you know theater students are they're their own class of people.
I had a lot of theater nerd friends, yeah.
But she was really cool. I always liked her, and she just said, she was like, I would go out with you, Dustin. I mean, it's like, you couldn't have been any more
Obvious.
Yeah.
and in my face about it. And I was just like, oh, well, that's cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's like I could.
Couldn't process
I
it.
just like my brain couldn't process the information that was coming at me at that moment in
man.
time. Plus,
I got
I don't think it
dozens
helped that my interest was in
stories like
somebody
that.
else at the time either. So
Yeah.
but man, teenage brains work really weird.
Yes, they do.
So, one I always kick myself in the ass for, in my 20s at some point, sitting downtown, and this,
We were at Teen Stalker? I mean, Dreamwalker?
no, not that time.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think I was sitting on that little short wall right in front of, the Bank of Idaho building, whatever it's called now.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm sitting there, and then there's this cute little blonde chick sits down next to me and just starts talking and stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, she's cute. Yeah, I don't have any chance with that. So I'm just sitting there chilling and talking with her and stuff, and At some point, she
It's-
blatantly says that she's, hey, I'm looking to get laid tonight. And my brain thinking, I don't have a chance with this. I'm like,
Fizzle, smoke
yeah,
out the
they
ears.
got a couple hours at the bars down there. I'm sure you can find somebody. And he's like, oh,
Wah,
well,
wah.
thanks, and walks off. Like literally 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, I did not just do that.
It's amazing how unthreatening a really attractive woman can be to somebody who feels like they have no chance. Like it's like, all right, well I can just freely talk to her because there's no way in hell anything's going to happen, and it becomes.
Yeah, and that you're in. That's how you get in.
Yeah, I know. You just feel absolutely not threatened by the entire situation because
I've
they're
never
way out
felt
of
not
your
threatened
league.
by situations like that. It's a miracle I spoke to Ange the night that we met. Like, I think the only reason that happened is because
Booze.
mutual friends and booze.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably mostly the booze.
Yeah, probably.
Mutual
Booze
booze.
had a lot to do with that.
That was the beginning of my gin and tonic days, so yeah,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
I like my terminology just now.
Well, I missed it.
Mutual booze.
Mutual booze, indeed. Yeah. When I was kind of dating this crazy chick at the time, but trying to not be because she was a crazy chick. Oh, God.
Crazy chick.
So awkward.
All chicks are crazy.
Yeah. No, we are. I'll admit it. Get two of us in a relationship together, and I'm gonna say words
Doubled
guys
your
hate.
wardrobe.
I'm gonna say words guys hate. Cycles sync up,
Yeah.
so anger happens at the same time, and shit just gets cray cray.
This has been a fun conversation.
Oh my God,
I don't know how much nerdity stuff we've actually hit tonight, but I mean,
a
it's-
lot. Social awkwardness, bullying, licking batteries.
I would say I didn't say like my first girlfriend came up to me and said, "Excuse me, do you know where I can buy a pair of leather pants?" I responded with where I knew you could buy one because I was going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the time, and yeah, it was pretty easy. I don't know what y'all problems were.
Must be
We're sick
nice.
bastards.
Yeah, must be nice. I didn't even come out until I was like 23.
I know.
Yeah, I know. You remember.
but
General.
Okay, but you've dated dudes too.
Yeah, I did. I tried to be straight for a while. It didn't work out. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I thought if I was straight, my parents would like me, or my mom specifically would like me more. And I was unhappy.
We're digging into some psychology stuff here.
Yeah, it happened. It's a common thing. Like, the majority of my lesbian friends tried being straight at one point or another. I think I know one person who didn't, and I think she's lying. Because how do you find out you don't like the thing that's the social norm unless you try it? Yeah.
Mason here has kissed me twice, and I can tell you I didn't like a single second of it.
But would you have known if you hadn't tried it?
Technically, no.
See?
But I also had no interest in it either. So.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, if you're not raised in a way where you know that that's even an option. Yeah. I didn't even meet a gay person until I was like 20, so.
And they were like, "Hey, gay people are cool too."
Yeah. I was like, what is this thing that you do that's, what? That's a thing that can happen?
That's an option.
We have options?
Son of a
I don't know,
bitch.
celibacy or that one?
Is she cool? Yes.
Yeah.
Well then,
Yeah.
choice is made.
That's why I had problems. I didn't know I had options.
Okay, well, okay, I grew up in California. It wasn't
Yeah.
weird that there were options to me.
My mom has this thing where if somebody's walking down the street with like a mohawk or other things that she deems intimidating, she'll cross the street to not walk by them.
So how did she react when her daughter had
She
a
never
mohawk?
saw it. I wore a lot of hats. That
Okay.
was actually the start of my hat wearing obsession, I think.
I was thinking,
A lot of hats like this, actually. Big beanies that cover your whole head.
because would your mom have like left the room because she found your mohawk uncomfortable, or
She would have
because-
cried. She cried when she saw my tattoo.
Wow.
She still gives me shit about my gauged ears. They haven't gotten bigger in 3 years, and she's still like, "Are you stretching your ears out again?" No. not going to tell you I'm thinking about it, but yeah.
That's a thing that never appealed to me, stretching your earlobes at all.
I can't handle needles, so I can't get more piercings, but I can stretch out the ones I've got. Because I tug on my ears when I'm nervous or thinking, so they were already stretched out. So, yeah.
So I stopped at 16 gauge just because that's where I wanted to stop.
I'm at double aughts.
Yeah.
Well, these ones are just zeros, but I like them because they're owls. So I wear them and then just stretch my ears back out afterwards.
Yeah.
I have really elastic skin. When I take these out when I'm an old lady, they're going to close up really fast. So.
Why are you going to take them out just because you're an old lady? Still rocking the
Well,
piercing?
because old lady ears sag anyways. So,
Stretch
So
them out
just
even
kinda
further.
yeah.
hanging in there.
And floppy ears.
You just get the, the
Like a
bigger
Buddha
gauge.
statue.
Just get the bigger and bigger gauges. You'll be all good.
Yeah, that's true. It's like gauging without the effort.
Yeah.
Just gravity. I'm gonna have like big tribal plugs in my ears.
Do it.
Yeah, so by the time you're 80, you'll have those spinners like the Walmart wheels.
You know, my first time I ever saw gauged ears was at Boise High, and there was a kid that walked around with really short, brightly colored toothbrushes in his ears, and he would have like 3 toothbrushes in each ear. I don't know if you remember seeing that kid.
I feel like
He
I remember
was,
seeing that. Yeah.
I think he was a strung out raver kid, but I remember
That sounds
thinking-
strung out, Raver.
Yeah, like when I got my ears stretched out to the point where I could stick a Bic pen in them, I got so excited. You probably remember I did it all the time.
Yeah, you did it all the time.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I think it's because I was such a quiet, closeted nerd when I was a kid that when I got older and started realizing that you have options and how you express yourself, I kind of just did.
I remember today I'll just hang stuff from my lip ring because I can. Like pens.
I'm still mad that I took my lip ring out because 4 hours and it closed up.
We can fix that.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to get it pierced again. It sucked so bad when I did it. That hurt really fucking bad.
Really?
I don't want to do that again. I have a low tolerance for pain.
The weird thing is that the initial piercing for me never hurt.
I even had a
It's
shot
the
before we
healing-
went in.
It was the healing process before, after that.
I play with the
because it just felt like
scar
you had
so
a
much.
canker sore in your mouth for like a week. And
I
that was about
still
it.
play with the scar. Like, I can't leave stuff like that alone.
It's like I could not get like a lip piercing like yours, Dustin, like that goes around my lip
See, that's exactly what
'Cause-
mine was.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would have to.
Yeah.
because I play with my mustache enough
Yeah.
as it is. If I had something else around my mouth to play with, my mouth would never close.
I'm really bad
I'd be
about-
asleep. But
yeah.
really
I,
bad.
it's probably for the best that mine closed up because I chew on my lips when I'm thinking. Like, I'm really bad about chewing my lips. And when I had that, I was always playing with it. I probably would have ripped it out eventually. Yeah.
I like my lip piercing.
You know, I
Yeah,
could
it's
do like
great. I
you know,
wish I
I could
could
do
have
like the fangs that hang down.
Snake bites.
Snake bites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Like on the lip. No.
Just like David Draymond style.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who had her labret pierced, and that was pretty cool. She was the only person I've ever seen who looks just better with a labret piercing. I think it just suited her. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was my initial want. Was a labret piercing.
Yeah,
But then
I knew
was like,
somebody whose little sister got
let's
one
go to
done kind of illegitimately, and she actually ended up having to have surgery because it rubbed her gums.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. My inspiration
damaged.
for doing it this way was because of CM Punk.
Of course it was.
I know.
Nerd.
Well, he himself is also a nerd, though,
Yeah, I know.
which is funny
I
because
still think it's funny. He did the whole thing on. He did the show for a while on Nerdist with Grammar.
Grammar Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
amazing. And the interview with him on Nerdist is still one of my favorites because he's just the gigantic nerd he is. Like, he's a comic book nerd mostly, but what?
I just got a text that I'm really proud of and I have to share with you guys.
Share it now.
So I think I mentioned to you, I don't know if I mentioned it on air, Angie's mom got back surgery last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah, she's watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, she's been doped up and recovering. I just got a message. Now have David Tennant for the Who guy.
For the Who guy.
Yes. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud.
So she made it through Eccleston. That's
Yeah,
good.
she
Yeah.
did.
That's
And
good.
now
She's
it's only uphill from here.
She's hooked.
uphill.
I was gonna let her. No, I agree. I'm gonna let
I
her
like
borrow
Eccleston,
my
but-
TARDIS Afghan that I have, because she's got to stay fairly immobile, and
Yeah.
it sucks because she's retiring this year. She has to take the next 2 months off, which basically means she's gonna have 2 more months of school left, and and then she's done. But, so she's immobile and watching a lot of Doctor Who, and I'm very, very proud of her, because she got through season 1 in a week, and the first 2 days, she was passing out constantly from the painkillers they had her on. So she really got through it in about 5 days.
Yeah, Vicodin make Dustin go sleep.
Yeah, she's got, like, Norco or something like that. Cause
Ooh,
she's
Norcos.
We've been getting some fun phone calls. Like, she'll talk to Ange and then forget that she talked to Ange and call her back. And it's super fun. We went and saw her yesterday and we were talking about Doctor Who, and I'm very proud that she's a convert, and I had to share.
Ugh.
So, Linda, if you ever listen to this, I'm very proud that you made it through Eccleston. It just gets better.
Yay.
Could be downhill from here, though. We've yet to see. It's a new Doctor.
What do you guys think about the rumors that he's only going to be around for a season?
That's becoming more common.
Yeah, I hope he's around for a long time, though. I mean, he's.
Well, the thing is, Capaldi's an awesome actor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I saw an article that was talking about it in a way that made sense to me. That they were saying that he's going to stick around for a long time because
He
he's
could have just
already.
He could have just signed a 1-year contract for now, and he might sign a new one if the fan response.
It's like signing a lease. You move to a new place. You just want to test it out before you commit to a long term.
Yeah.
He seems like a long-term Doctor to me.
I saw a thing that said that because he's older, he's been a Doctor Who fan his whole life. This is a thing he's always wanted to do, and he's already a fairly well-accomplished actor in other areas, that they were saying he's going to stick around because he doesn't feel like he has to go out and prove himself after this. Yeah. He's already proven himself, and now he's doing the thing he's always wanted to do.
Yeah, whereas like Tennant and Smith.
Yeah. Did you get my text the other Saturday? I sent you a text. Trefu Tom, the BBC children's show that David Tennant's the voice of one of the characters on, is on Saturday morning cartoons on Channel 7. I found it on accident. I'm flipping through channels. I'm like, that sounds like Scottish David Tennant. And it's a weird little fairy kid. And it was. And it's amazing. It's really.
I like the fact that you had to preface that with Scottish David Tennant.
Well, because you're not used to hearing his natural accent.
Right.
I know, but it's
And
still funny.
It was him talking like him, and it was a cartoon. And I texted you because I thought you would appreciate it since you have a child.
That does have familiar. Hold on, let me check the phone.
I think it was in all caps and everything.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Like, Ange was vacuuming. I was like, stop vacuuming, I can't hear Doctor Who. And she's like, it's not Doctor Who. I'm like, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Text
Way
says,
to ignore my important text I sent you about TV content.
There's a kids show on Channel 7 right now with a character
my
voiced by
T
David Tennant.
Doesn't always work.
W-I-H.
Which doesn't make sense because it's a touch screen, but the T doesn't always
respond well.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
friends,
yawning's happening.
We've been recording for close to 2.5 hours.
Nope.
Yet again.
You're welcome.
I thought we were going to try and cut it down.
That was the goal. Hey.
It is cut down from last week.
Let's get home before midnight, you guys.
Not that we get much feedback from you people, but we could totally use some. We're thinking about cutting this show in half.
Oh, we are? I like that.
By doing it in 2 segments, we'd actually have basically a separate news show and a separate topic show. If that makes sense. Versus having them all in one podcast. That way we have 2 bite-sized shows at about an hour, hour and a half apiece.
Or we could just do a shorter news/show and a shorter news/show. I don't know. Just throwing ideas out.
Well, it would be 2 podcasts a week, basically.
Yeah.
Nerd Effect News and Nerd Effect Topic.
And 3 if you count
the D&D one, but
the initiative.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The initiative.
Yes.
Deafening voices. I can't do that voice quietly. It's hard.
No, it's very hard. That's what she said.
Good night, folks.
So anyway, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what makes you guys nerdy.
Libby, when you get caught up in 2 weeks, let us know what you think.
Brian, who's probably on a current episode, we want to hear what you think. What makes you nerdy? What makes anybody who else who's listening nerdy? And you can either comment on the forums, feedback at nerdeffect.com, Facebook page. Hell, shoot us a message on Twitter. We'll get it.
Email, go fuck yourself at nerdeffect.com. Wait, no.
I still haven't created that.
Why?
Huh?
Slacker.
Sorry. I wonder if anybody's tried to actually email it and had it bounce back.
And they're just horribly disappointed. And they go cry and stop listening to us. Why are you trying to lose listeners?
Because they're trying not to email go fuck yourself at nerdeffect.com.
We did ask them to.
If I was going to email any of us, I would email go fuck yourself.
I want
nerdeffect.com.
to be able to email go fuck yourself at nerdeffect.
So
go fuck yourself at nerdeffect.com is going to get an email from Nikki at nerdeffect.com.
Oh man, what else? Still got a survey out there.
Take the survey.
Actually, you know what? While we're at it, let's wrap up the show with some of the survey responses.
Oh.
Is that okay? Is that cool?
Yeah.
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 You want to hear some of the ideas that have been tossed around?
Yeah.
We've had 6 responses.
It sounded like you said sexy responses, you guys.
Sexy responses.
We've had sexy responses.
Oh,
I've been a good boy, not going on there just saying more monkey tits.
Oh, Jesus.
we know who that was.
Yeah, it
I
would
know.
be.
There would be no anonymity there if there is anonymity.
Did any of you guys actually take the survey?
The first time I
I
had to do the new
looked
one.
at it, but I figured you didn't want responses from us.
Yeah, I didn't, but I was just curious.
I did
Fine,
the first
maybe I
time.
won't take your stupid survey.
Then don't.
Good.
Okay.
Now we're fighting again.
No, we're agreeing in a very aggressive manner.
I don't agree with the fact that we're agreeing. But I accept your opinion.
Anyway, go ahead.
On a scale of 1 bad to 5 awesome, how would you rate the website in its current state? And answers are 50-50 split between 3 and 4, so about 3.5. Which is expected. I mean, our website's nothing special, but visually it looks alright. The color scheme's cool, I think. And we have forum functionality, which is something some websites can't.
We could do more with it, though.
Oh yeah, we could totally do more with it.
I think we should start, just real fast. I don't know if you've noticed the thing that, Nerd Poker does, where they take the pictures that they take of random shit during the episode, they post in that episode's notes. You been on their website?
Do you listen through the website?
No, I've just been on their website, because they talk about posting pictures, so I go on there. Yeah, it's a really cool thing, and I was thinking
I've
that
seen
would be
them on
cool,
their Facebook page.
that would be a cool way to make
But
it
they
easier
haven't
for
used their
people to-
Facebook page in like a year.
It'd be a cool way to make it easier for people to see the things we're talking about and stuff. I was thinking about that.
Okay.
There's my feedback. Even though you don't want me to take your stupid survey.
We all got these fancy phones with cameras on.
I do take a lot of pictures while we're here.
Question 2. How do you listen to the podcast? I was honestly surprised to see that most people tend to listen directly from the website itself. We had 3 website responses, 1 iTunes, 1 YouTube, and 1 TuneIn.
Okay.
Other options were Stitcher, Blueberry, and Mixcloud, or other, but nobody chose other. Honestly, I'm not even sure what other option there might be, but just in the event that there's a podcatcher out there somewhere that might have it. What features would you like to see added to nerdeffect.com? Please click all that apply. The 2 biggest responses were news articles and reviews at 4 apiece. Videos at 3, live streams at 2, other podcasts at 2.
Well, we're working on
We're working on the other podcasts.
and it's gonna be called
The Initiative.
And yes, Let's Plays, which I was surprised to see. I don't know how many people actually get into Let's Plays these days, but they're still pretty popular from what I've
Let's
seen.
Plays are still pretty popular, yeah.
Or other, please specify. And somebody actually clicked on that one. Let's see here. Do I have,
If it says monkey tits, I'm punching Mike right now.
I haven't been on there, I swear.
really hope it says monkey tits. I never thought I'd say that.
Somebody's gonna get on there and do monkey tits now. Just know it.
Is this somebody gonna be you, Mike?
okay, this one, it
You're
says,
punching me. He started the monkey tits.
I wasn't punching you.
it says pictures and links mentioned during the show. Which
Well, you have
we
links.
do all the time.
But there's times when links other than the news come up,
And we,
and we
don't-
say we're
you-
gonna put them on.
And then we never do.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I don't take notes during the show, and I never remember what I said.
I can start taking notes if you want me to.
You got a note taker?
Because I actually have been meaning to say that. as somebody who listens to the show because I have a bad memory, so I forget the things we talk about by the time it comes out. And I feel like a listener still. And I was like, oh, we should actually post those things that we talk about.
Do it.
So I'll start taking
If you want to
notes.
start being the note taker.
I am going to bring a
In
notebook
fact, I
next
think
time.
that's pretty much what Kyle does on the Nerdist. That's all he does is take notes for Chris Hardwick.
Well, I'd like to participate more than he does.
Well, yeah.
I'm not
of
going to be
course.
your assistant, Dustin. Fuck you.
And then question 4, is there anything else we could add to the site to improve your experience? Somebody responded with pictures of cats and My Little Pony.
Yes. We can start up a tab that's Nikki's cat pictures, and I can just find cool cat pictures and put them up there. People are serious about this, man. I
So,
look at so many cat
who did
pictures every
that?
day.
Does it say?
It wasn't
the,
me.
The respondents are anonymous.
Oh, okay.
I didn't take the survey, so it wasn't me.
I
But
mean,
if
I could
somebody
start
wants
up a
cat
little corner
pictures,
myself and do a bunch of My Little Pony porn, but I mean,
No clop clop.
I don't know what that is. Don't tell me. But we could put up cat pictures, and it could be Nikki's kitty corner.
Nikki, sometime you should go to Reddit. Go to
No,
reddit.com/r/clop.
No. Fuck you. That's why. You should go.
It's not space dicks.
You're
should go
already
to-
wearing a rainbow dash hat.
You should
basically.
go to goat.cx.
Goatsay? Been
no.
there.
Oh.
I was one of the original people that started spreading Goatsay around.
Did you ever go into beta? b3ta.com?
No,
No. Okay. Anyways.
I don't know that one.
Oh, people are going to end up traumatized after this show if they start
Don't
taking
go
notes.
check out Goatsy. Just don't.
That's
You're gonna
GOATSE.cx.
No, it's just goat.cx.
Oh, he shortened it. That's
Yep.
right.
It's a dude bending over, pulling his asshole open for you to see out the other side, basically.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That hurts.
You haven't even seen it. And Tub Girl? That's one of those ones that people used to trick you into clicking. And that was back when pictures would load slowly from the top down, and I'd just be like, fuck! Josh,
The old 2 girls, 1 cup.
this is way pre that, and yeah. Anyways, let's stop talking about this. This is awful. This is horrible.
Would be nice to have an About Us section that included short bios and pictures. It is nice to be able to put a face with the voice.
Well, you get cartoon drawings of us by Nikki.
When Nikki starts having time.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't mean we can't have a bio up,
Yeah.
which is basically what we just gave you people today.
Yeah.
Well, but written bios.
Yeah, for sure.
That would actually be a really smart thing that we could do fairly quickly, and that'll motivate me to draw the pictures faster.
True.
All right, sweet. So you guys will have a bio written up before tomorrow, and let's
Fuck you, Professor Dustin.
For tomorrow? You mean in the next...
In the next 20 minutes.
25 minutes?
Yeah.
Tell you what, you get me home before midnight, we'll see what we can do by tomorrow night.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wait. I've got over 20 minutes? Pfft, no problem.
I guess we
be a
should
college
write our
student.
bios like
Here's my
comic
bio. I
book
like
style.
cats. Cats are cute.
I
like girls. Girls are cute. And
I think we should do it like
So
all
in short,
comic-
you
And
like
that
pussy.
is in priority.
oh my
I was
god, we
saying-
just had a breakthrough, you guys.
You say, but when you did the cats before the girls, that was priority order, right?
Well, we were just talking about cats.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was
I
priority
do love my
order.
cats a lot.
It's okay, Nikki. I love pussy too.
Oh,
Guys
Jesus.
are great.
Needs more cowbell.
But what doesn't need more cowbell, really?
And somebody said, it's good stuff. Keep it up.
Aw,
Yay.
good feedback, you guys.
So answer more. We want more.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want double-digit responses.
that means 10 or more. Oh my god! And I could like post patterns to things that I'm crocheting while we're sitting here. Nobody cares about that but me.
Well, see, here's the thing. My ultimate idea I would love to see Nerd Effect become a more global landscape for people.
I actually had an idea the other
Recruiting
day.
people outside the podcast to do their own shows, that kind of thing.
I had an idea the other day. I was thinking it'd be cool if we each had our own little like blog page on the website that we could put shit on as we wanted to
Just create like Nikki's blog and Mason's blog.
yeah,
and
like
Mike's
if
blog.
there's stuff that we talk about, like Mason's science and my nerdy, crafty stuff, and
Nikki's tinfoil hat corner.
yeah, and like stuff that each of us like, Mike's monkey tits corner, that other people.
I will not allow that as admin of the site.
But just like not necessarily through the forums, but like just like tabs on the site that's easy for people to get to without having to navigate forums. That where we could like each put up the stuff that we talk about that interests us that might interest our listeners, because if they're listening to us, they obviously like the same things we do.
Yes.
It was just a thought I had.
Or we're their weekly rage fest, and they rage and hate us for everything that we stand for.
Well, you don't have
Well,
to allow.
that's what the forums are for.
You don't have to enable
That's
comments.
what the forums are for. Trollololol.
You don't have to enable comments. That's the thing. I could.
Yeah, just for note, if I do blog, I'll be blogging about the D&D game more than anything else. Don't worry about the monkey tits.
Oh, then we wouldn't be
please.
allowed to read your blog because we'd get
Well, I'm not
spoilers.
giving spoilers.
We need to put Nikki's pictures of the game when she's drawing them, doodling during the game.
Just like stuff like that, where we could each have a spot where we post things that are important to us pertaining to the show and the things we talk about. I was thinking that would be really cool. I don't know how easy that would be to set up, but
not hard. Just
I've started
just make
so
you guys
many
contributors or writers or
Yeah.
whatever the setting is, and then I'll set up. I just set up a category for Nikki's blog, Mason's blog.
because I've started so many failed blogs that I can't keep up on because I have such random interests that it's hard to stay on track. But something like this, we could just post shit
It
that
could
we talk about.
intentionally be miscellanea.
Yeah, because that's what we talk about. I don't know. That was just the thought, because people want more content, and it would give us a chance.
Or as Johnny Five would say, more input, more input.
I don't think he's
Insufficient
slammed
data.
Johnny Five
tables.
still alive.
Yay.
God, I loved that show. He liked kitties, you guys. He did.
I know.
That's right.
All right, so we need
He's
to end this
aggressive.
show.
Yes,
killer.
let's
Okay,
do that.
let's get out of here.
Yes, let's tie this bitch off.
All right. So this is a show about us, basically, and what we deem nerdy.
I thought this was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
This is a random talk show. I think is a good show.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really technically have a real topic, but in a way, you kind of just got a very weird interview of us. So
I feel like you got to know us as people better.
yes,
Yeah.
Whether you wanted to or not.
Well, you could have paused if you didn't want to.
you didn't have to download this.
Uh-uh.
You could have stopped the moment we started speaking.
could
and
have
you'd be
not
like, nope,
used up
fuck
some of
these
your data
guys,
plan.
and hit stop. Like you're probably about to now because we keep going. But
You said, but.
did you see the duty darts?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm surprised she doesn't have it already.
It had Ariadne's name written all over.
Yeah, it did.
Went to a toy store in the mall and they had a thing called duty darts, and you threw a beanbag shaped like a poo at it.
Sounds right up Ariane's alley, right?
Anyway, thank you nerds for joining us, and as always, for those about to nerd, we salute you.
Wow, that sucked as an ending.
We're not all saying it anymore? We stopped
I
I
don't
all
thought
saying
that was
it?
a thing.
Okay.
I thought that was the thing, too.
One
This
more
is like
time?
the first time
Take
I've done
two?
it.
Take two.
Take two. Alright, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. And as always, for those about to nerd,
We salute you.